We're live.
There you go. I had it all planned out. It was all working right, but the phone screwed up. So here we are live. There's not really a decent thumbnail on there. So if you figure it out, we're here. If you're not, you missed it tonight. So we're actually, what the heck's the name of this town?
Casey.
Wyoming. That's where we're at.
Right in between Casper and Gillette.
Yep. So just using the phone. Hopefully the sound's pretty good. Let's see. Bring any phone out.
That one and this one. I got mine in my pocket.
If it's got any.
Anyway, we got up at 7 this morning, just got here, so it's about 5 now. So however many hours that is. We stopped a couple of different times. Jamie O is on. Hey there. Let's see if this works. Nope, it ain't gonna work. So we're not gonna put any comments up on the board because I'm not going through all of that because it wants me to do like 3 steps just to get your name up there. So hi, Jamie O. So anyway, we took the long roundabout way, I guess, to get up here. Stopped a few times. We had pizza. We've been getting gas at Mavericks, and they have a bonfire grill pizza. And we keep seeing you get 2 slices of pizza and a drink and blah 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 for $7. So anyway, we ended up getting a whole pizza, I guess. So did that. That's what we had for lunch. Paying for it now because it was full of pepperonis and I didn't take any off. So, and I didn't bring any Tums because I was having no issues with my stomach and thought there was some in the trailer, but there's not. So anyway, Janice is on and Ron's on, I see. Like I said, I'm having trouble. Mike's on and David Eastwood, Jamie O, because when I click on it, it wants me to go in and then
we're using the phone, so we don't have that access. So all she can do is she can read out your comments. But that's the best we're going to do tonight because the wind is blowing. So if the sound gets really bad, let us know. Trying to put it on our Facebook pages, give a chance. Like I say, the thumbnail screwed up, everything kind of, we're not used to, they've changed everything. I may find a different source for this soon because I don't care for the way StreamYard has changed all this.
They've even changed, not that has anything to do with YouTube, but my texting, like when I send a picture, like my daughters and I send pictures back and forth all the time. And now I usually just go to send her a text. I write her a message, pick the pictures I want to send and send it. Now it won't let me do that. Now I have to go into my pictures and then share what?
That has nothing to do with
I said that, but it changed. People, they change crap and they should just leave it all the same. That's my point. You weren't talking, so I'm trying to fill in the gap.
You can't tap on it.
Well, I can't see it, so I can just say your name.
Why don't you just look at the phone and you can read it off of there?
And it doesn't do that either because my comments are 25 minutes behind those.
That's fine. Then you'll still be talking to people, won't you? See, she's aggravated today.
And who else gets aggravated? Nobody around here.
Never me. So we're stopped here. It's sun right now. So we wanted to kind of get out here. I don't know how long we'll stay on. Internet's really, really good here. I don't have a video to put up tonight. We did in the last couple nights. I don't know if I'll have anything for tomorrow, as it's probably going to be 2 or 3 o'clock. We're never showing up like we plan on it. So we're, like I say, she was thinking we were going to get here at 3 o'clock today, and we got here now. Which
well,
is
I looked at the thing when I called the lady, and it said that we were supposed to arrive between 1:30.
I told you that was Casper.
Well, anyway, so I said, we're going to arrive we're probably between 2:30 and 3. So that gave us time to stop and blah, blah, blah. Well, we got here at 4:30. So it's after 5 now. We got here before that.
So we're just staying here for the night. We'll leave tomorrow morning and we'll be in Rapid City. We don't know for sure where we're staying at. We have a tentative place picked out. We just have to, it's one of those first come, first served locations. If it's full, we won't stay there, but hoping Monday won't be too bad for us to get in there. We'll be there from Monday to Monday for a week, and then we move over to the other place in Rapid City and stay there till the end of the month. So
Ron says, hey guys, I'm number 1. And Mike's in the house. Jamie O says, pizza's always good going down. Yeah, now I've got heartburn. Ron Magers, Magers, says he's got his eye on us. Maine motorcycle couple, they're from Maine. Roger says North Carolina. Ron. Art's on, he says, I'm on and sound is good. Kevin Cadham's on. Hi guys from Sault Ste. Marie. So is that up in Canada? Jamie says, take a deep breath. Everything will be okay.
And once we get there and we get into our spot where we're going to be for the next couple of weeks, or next week. And then the next one we move to, and there's not an issue there. That's part of our camping club. Next place, we're kind of doing some boondocking, a place that's got electric and water, and that's it. And we should be able to hack out there for the week. And then we'll move over to the other one that's Raccoon Resort. It's over by not Mount Rushmore. It's over by it's by the reptile place in Rapid City.
But it's called Rushmore Shadows.
Yeah,
and he calls it the raccoon place.
Yeah, because they got a raccoon as their logo.
Big raccoon waving to you when you come in.
It's the raccoon place. So
we've stayed in Panama City. There's a raccoon that's called Raccoon.
I call that Raccoon Place too, Raccoon Resort or something. It is, isn't it?
I don't know what it is.
We don't go there anymore.
So Lisa says it's good to see us on live, and soon it'll be live in person. It will be. Right. Lisa and Joe.
That's right. They were just on the other day, and I said we'll be seeing them soon.
Yep.
Oh, so did you guys decide? Are you trailering? Or are you going to ride your bikes all that way?
I think they're riding their bikes.
I know he really wanted to pull the trailer so he could sleep in the back while she drives.
Well, she drives straight through.
So we'll see how that goes. If not, heck, it might take you a week to get here. No. Gotta stop and take naps every day. So yeah. So we did. We're at 1,000 miles now. So we did. I think the first day we did about 450, and today we did 550. I guess today. Tomorrow's an easy day. We got about 300 miles to get into Sturgis, and then another 25 miles to get into Rapid City. Probably won't stop in Sturgis on the way. We'll just look on the way. That way we can get in where we're at. Got to get situated. I ran her battery down in her motorcycle. I can't charge it up. Walmart's got one for $95 I seen. So we're probably going to get a new battery for her bike tomorrow. Probably take her old one out tomorrow. And then
it's so hard because with the cup holder there, it's down.
I think I'm going to move it down.
Because it
blocks the switches.
It blocks. And even for me, even to turn my signals on, because I don't want to hit the off button and not the signal switch. So
I'm going to move those so they're down because the handlebars are up high enough. I think that'll be fine. So they did it on my bike. So my bike's supposed to arrive towards the end of June. Should be arriving. It's still in Florida. It's going to go to Milwaukee, and then from Milwaukee there, we're hoping that it's going to come in with. It'll be special, baby. It'll come in with the Harley Davidson, the RR CVO.
Now, if I'd have said that, he said, "Shh, I was going to make a video on that."
That's mine. Well, it's just we're going to get 60 people to watch the video, so it's not going to be like.
You're already up to 108.
I don't believe that.
It's 28.
Yeah, that's more like it. Because it was unscheduled, and then people look at the thumbnail, they're like, "Who the hell are these people?" Which I did. I'm getting a lot of people are saying that. I guess got somebody today that wrote on the video and said, "Do you guys even have motorcycles, and do you ride them?" And I'm like, yeah.
They don't watch too often.
Well, it's probably new. And they've probably seen a few of these videos that's talking about coming to Sturgis. And you don't see the bikes. My bike's not here. Her bike's in the trailer. You've seen the garage. You've seen the pan of the bikes. So most of you that are on here now all know that we have motorcycles and we ride them. And that's what I told the guy. I said, we used to ride to Sturgis all the time. And after her wreck, she did ride that time. Yep. About 2,300 miles. And after that was about the end of her riding until we started doing YouTube. And she decided she kind of wanted to start doing it again, but as a very slim part-time person.
Well, it's always nice just to be able to get on your bike and ride. Before I used it, I used it as a mode of transportation because out in California, to get to work just took, I lived 12 miles away from where I work.
You did.
Corona from Orange County. That little stretch there is 12 miles.
Yeah, but then you got to still go through town. You got to go.
Not that far. Anyway, so it would take me an hour to hour and a half in a car. And then I rode the train for a while and blah, 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 blah. But on the motorcycle, I can split lanes.
In Shadow Crest. Distance from Shadow Crest, California to St. Joe's Hospital in Orange.
Did you say Corona?
Oh, I said California.
Anyway, it's that stretch of 91 that took
366 miles.
There you go. There must be a Shadow Crest, California.
Shadow Crest
Circle in California.
Corona. There you go. We'll try it again. 26 miles.
And 12 of that was a 95, and that's what took you the hour.
Well, I mean, you still had to weed through town. Probably through town, you're probably spending at least a half an hour.
No, because I would go down the 55 to the 22, and the hospital was right there off the 22.
Well, but you got to get from our house to.
You never had to drive it, so you get no say so in it. Never.
The deal was we lived in Orange County, California. And the deal was she said, oh, I can get a job out at Riverside Hospital doing radiation therapy. And I'm like, well, that's cool. I could transfer to the Corona base and we won't be driving. So I put in my bid for it. She never did go out to the hospital and check on it or anything. And then once we started getting ready to move out there, then she contacts the hospital and they don't have a radiation therapy department. So she never got to go. So we did move back. When I became president of the union,
7 years later,
when I got my office in Orange County, I'm like, I'm not driving all that way. That was your choice. She wanted a house.
well, I told you I didn't want to move to Corona. You said if you want a house, that's the only way you're going to get it.
And you got a house. Yeah.
The lady wouldn't have raised her rent. We'd have stayed there. Hey, Karen. Karen's on. We're in Casey, Wyoming, on our way to...
We're off the Highway 25.
Yeah.
So we're on the way to, I think it's Buffalo.
Yeah.
Is the next town we go to. We're about 20 miles south.
Well,
north.
I think once we hit the 90, if we turn left, it'll take us to Buffalo. If we turn right, that'll take us to Joette.
Gillette.
I'm thinking of Mike. That'll take us all the way into
So we're
Sturgis.
229 miles from right now from Sturgis. So we kind of backtracked here to stay where we're at. We're staying someplace tonight, full hookups for only $25. So we kind of drove out of our way.
Well, we wanted a place where we could dump tonight because we can do a full 7 days with no issues, but we've already been on the road 2 days. So we wanted to dump before we got there. And I don't know if you can see all this stuff blowing around us.
We got the air on.
We don't need the air on, but with all this
pollen, it's all the seeds coming off the trees,
Ugh.
Blowing around.
I know, and it's already cool. It feels nice. The sun's coming down. It feels good. And
yeah, we left at about 115 degrees. Last night was about in the high 80s. We're in Provo. Cooled down at night. It was probably, when we got up this morning, it was probably high 60s, low 70s. I didn't look. So it was kind of cool this morning. And then on the way here, of course, we went up and down the mountains. A few places we stopped were kind of chilly.
I told him too.
What?
Janice. She said she just sent Neil a thing saying that we were on. And I said I messaged him too. Because I figured he didn't get any notification. So
it was kind of I had it all set up, and the phone is just a pain now to do with this StreamYard. You got to do everything just right. And so I took a picture just of us, and it wasn't right. Well, when you click back, it takes you all the way back to where you got to start completely over, and I wasn't going to do it again. So here we are live, and that's the way it is. And so everything's really good. Weather looks good. They said in Sturgis right now, somebody called me a while ago, just a few minutes ago, called the wrong number, but it's Vicky. I'm not sure what Vicky it was. But she must have had our phone number. And
there's a Vicky that's coming.
Yeah, but this is from 605. So
it
was a Sturgis area phone number.
I don't know.
So I don't know. Somebody we knew. And so she said, oh, yeah, the wind was really bad today. I said, oh, hopefully it's going to cool down. Because nothing worse. That wind's bad when you're on that 90.
On the 90.
There's been
the trailer
going the other way, going towards Sioux Falls. There's stuff that we were flipping trucks over a couple of years ago. I think it was last year. Before the rally. It was a couple of weeks, about a month before the rally.
Well, there was one time we were coming in. I think we were coming up from probably Mindy's house. That was a couple of years ago, I guess. It wasn't last year because we had the trailer. Anyway, we were coming up and it got really bad. And once we saw the semi starting to pull over, we pulled over and stayed.
But that was going through New Mexico.
No, that was coming out here. It was right after or right past the Big Indian.
Well, that must have been the year we were going from Laconia then.
Well, no, I think we were coming up from Mindy's house. We came up and went through Nebraska and all that and got in and we ate with Myron and Pam, Terry the farmer, at the Cracker Barrel in Sioux Falls.
Maybe.
That was coming up from Mindy's house. And then we rode out. What carrier are you using?
T-Mobile. So we're kind of screwed up. We got rid of the AT&T because it was costing me $129 for AT&T. So we dumped that. So we have Verizon too. We have the visible phone that we use the hotspot off of that. And so with the AT&T, we had a hotspot. Well, I've got a hotspot for our T-Mobile, which we're going to need to call. It shows now we only have 10 gigabytes on each one of these appliances now. So when we used it wherever I was at, Myrtle Beach, within a few days, I had used it all up. So I could have swore we had 100 gigabytes on it. So
we need to call because there's also, it says you can get a business phone plan, which is what the Bike Builds for Vets phone is. And I think we're paying $50 or $60 for that. And it says, get a business plan for $30 a month. And it's like, well, we got that. And we're not paying $30 a month. So I need to call on that too. I didn't never do that.
So we'll see what happens. So we're gonna wait and see how internet goes. We do have with Verizon. We got a business line on the Verizon where we've got their hotspot, but it's not one I can take around. It's gotta be plugged. Well, it does. I can't take it around, but it's too big for me to carry it around. It's got a battery in it, but I don't know how. But Verizon overall hasn't been that great. But AT&T the last year or two has sucked. But what AT&T did last year, and also we're hearing in Sturgis right now, what they did last year was they put in towers on top of a bunch of the businesses. Have you seen those?
All on Main Street? I bet you there was at least 2 on every block.
They said some of that had to do with the TT Racing, which I don't know if they're still all there or not. But AT&T is supposed to be coming in now before the rally, and they're putting in some permanent towers for the people. Now, I also know out at Full Throttle Saloon, also at the Buffalo Chip, they'll sometimes put towers out there to help get better signals. Because we've seen that when we've out there. Sometimes one service is super great, and then all of a sudden it drops off, the other one picks up.
We're doing good, CC. And James Hyde is on. It says, following your travels. Late. Getting on.
Well, we just started, so you didn't miss much. Other than everything was screwed up, and we just got this turned on. I could have brought the laptop out, but I didn't get around to doing all that. But I would have had to gone through something because I don't have a card in my laptop. So I don't know what we're going to do for hotspots after this. I don't. We'll have to see how.
We should have kept the T-Mobile one we had.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. See, we had the T-Mobile tower.
They went first, came out.
Yeah, that they had no way of tracking it. Well, my other thing that I was thinking about doing was, if it's really bad, is go to the T-Mobile store here and get it for the 3 months and take it back.
Mm.
What are you gonna do? I'll give my address here and say that's where we're at. And what are you gonna do about it? So if that ends up working, maybe we'll have to do that.
Rally one forever. We'll be in Sturgis tomorrow. Well, Rapid City.
Yeah. So we'll be coming through Sturgis tomorrow. We're staying in Rapid City for the whole month of June. We'll be in Rapid City. That's where we try to get all of our rides done, get all that done. What's it on the back of my shirt? Badlands. Get the Badlands done. Mount Rushmore, all that stuff. This year, we're going to try to do something a little different for some of you. We're going to try to do some videos showing you routes you can take. Like maybe you decide, hey, I'm staying in Sioux Falls and I'm coming over for 2 days. What can I do in 2 days? Well, we're going to show you what you can do in 2 days. We're going to give you a timeline to say, hey, this is the time we pulled out. This is the time we hit the gate. This is the time we pulled out of there. This is what, and so you'll see everything
We stopped
do.
at 8, and this is how long we stopped for.
Yeah. So that way, because especially people that have never been to Sturgis, that's the first thing they always say, what can I do? And everybody's going to give you their opinions. The difference between us now that I've actually kind of figured out now after watching some other videos from about 10 years ago, we look at videos a whole lot different than anybody else does. Rallies. And we see this totally different from what you do, anybody that's covering the rallies, because we're doing this as a job, not doing this as a vacation or a weekend to spend at the rally. We love what we do. We enjoy giving out the great information. We're hoping this year we're going to be breaker. We gained about 3,000 subscribers last year. My goal this year is about 5. If we get more than that, I'd be super excited more if we did that. First year we got 6. So this year, if we get 5, I'll be really happy. So we'll see how that all works out, because that gets us more sponsorships. Because who do we got now as our official sponsor? We just signed the contract for.
It's not, I don't know. It's Halifax, something in Daytona Beach. Yeah. It used to be the CVD.
So what it is it Bike Week in Daytona and Biketoberfest is put on by 2 different groups. So the first one, Bike Week is put on by the Chamber of Commerce.
The one in the spring.
That's right. The fall rally is put on by a business group. And we'll have their name up soon, because we'll have to call them Monday or send him an email and have him write how he wants me to write it on. So they're going to be, they are our official sponsor. You're going to see some videos between now and the rally. Between the rally, you're going to see some stuff going on during Sturgis. Bear through some of our videos, because we're going to throw them in as our, and then we're going to do a bunch of stuff. We're going to do some lives while we're down there and a whole bunch of stuff. So they're sponsoring us. Also, where are we staying? We're staying at the Claritin, right next on Teddy Morris's property. And who's sponsoring us there? Teddy Morris. There you go. So we're all set. And who's getting this motorcycle? Midwest Heavy Ed from Midwest Motorcycles. There you go. So there's our sponsors for the rally coming up now. So everybody knows now we will officially be at Biketoberfest. I'm going to talk right now. We're coming in on Tuesday. we're going to talk to one sexy biker chick, Vanessa, and see if she's got her house rented out. If she doesn't, maybe we'll come in the Thursday before. And then that way we can do more pre-stuff. So we'll find out what happens. We'll see. But right now we're from Tuesday to Sunday. We'll be there.
That's the only time we have a place to stay.
Yes.
The motorcycle is not a big deal, and then getting there is not a big deal because they've already got seats. Is there not a thing on the other side to sit on?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't reach it. I was
It's
going
too
to put
far.
my foot on it.
I can't reach it either.
Goodness gracious.
It's a big table. It's a big one. They got some big uns here.
Not the itty bitty.
Not the itty bitty club. The big uns. So there's a new sponsor that we've got.
Art says you guys do a great job with all the information you give. And Andrew's on, Andrew Hill. He says, hey, Bob and Tam. Carly One Forever says, in all the Black Hills, what is your number one spot would you consider the most scenic?
I couldn't say one. There's a lot of cool things. I love waterfalls. So I love Spearfish Canyon. A lot of people say that that's the number one ride. I don't consider that the number one ride. It's a nice ride. Actually, a ride better than that is Von Knocker Canyon coming back from, what's the town out there?
Nemo.
Coming from Nemo down, that is the best ride in the Sturgis area. If you don't get a bunch of, normally, okay, so that's that. Another great thing I like Custer State Park. I love seeing the bison. I love riding through there. I love getting the shots that we get of the bisons and stuff like that. That's really cool. What else is so special about the Black Hills? It's my number one thing I say I love about the Black Hills.
Iron Mountain Road?
No, people.
Oh,
the people that live there.
I said the most scenic spot.
Okay. So those are those. So I love Iron Mountain. That's my favorite ride that I love. Really, when you go out to the Black Hills, there really isn't really any bad spot to go to. I'm not, like I say, I'm the things, it's easier for me to say what aren't my favorite things. I'm not a Badlands guy because we live in Arizona, so we see rocks all the time. But I mean, for the ride, 90 miles out and 90 miles back.
It's usually very, very hot.
In a couple hours of being out there,
hey, Tom.
There's not much out there. Same thing with Devil's Tower.
July 3rd.
You get about as good a view watching the movie as you do riding through there. Unless you want to see prairie dogs jumping up. That's about the most exciting thing
Devil's
out there.
Tower.
Yeah.
It's not, if you really want to go like to Hewlett and the Ham Jam, that's a good day to go after you do the Ham Jam or before, either way, because Devil's Tower is like 10 miles from Hewlett. So if you're going to do Hewlett, I would do Devil's Tower on that day because then you'll kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Devin Mike, Oktoberfest, can you sleep in a tent in the forest on our site? That's Devin Mike.
We're in a motel in Oktoberfest. You can stay out at Crazy Horse Campground.
No, they're saying when we go to Oktoberfest. Oh, Crazy Horse. Yeah. No, Devin Mike know where to go. They're saying we could stay with them.
Oh.
They'll probably be out there early. So we could sleep outside in the tent.
We used to have a tent. What about a tent?
A long time ago. I'm done with tents. I got soaked all weekend. And
we did stay a little while
with Marcus
at Camp Easy Ride out in Leesburg.
But that was on an air mattress and it was up off the ground.
And our trailer was right next to it. So
yeah. Oh, I thought that was a grasshopper at supply. So
we're gonna find out if one sexy biker. I should say
one crazy biker. She's that too now.
Vanessa, and she's on a road trip right now. I think she's out riding somewhere.
I think they went to Beartooth Pass. They said they were going to the Arctic Circle, so I'm assuming they're going.
They were in Montana, so yesterday or today I seen this thing come on. So when she gets back, we'll be there probably. Right at the time we get there, they'll probably be coming back. So we'll check with her and see if her house is open, and we'll stay a few days there. She was trying to rent it out, but
like he says, to toughen up.
It's you.
It's me. No, thank you.
I've slept in the back of a truck or on
so
a seat.
have I. Mm-hmm.
I could do it now.
You could not. You would wake up and wouldn't walk for a week. Yes. Yeah, all right, then you sleep outside here tonight, and we'll see how you feel in the morning. You could. I'm not saying you couldn't do it. I'm just saying you wouldn't be able to function the next day. Jeffrey Pope's on. How you doing? He's coming out to Sturgis too.
There you go. Did you get a hold of Steven?
Steven won't come.
Just go by. I'll find the combination for his lock on his motorcycle to the shed. Get it open. Put it in the back of the trailer and say, "Hey, we're ready to go. We're taking your bike.
Come on. Either get in or we're taking the bike." Neil says he has a ticket for the 20th of June. He'll be going down. Are you going to Central Ohio, Indiana, pass by Chicago, headed to Milwaukee, then to Central Wisconsin. After all that, South Dakota and Kathmandu. Are you not going to Ohio or Idaho? Devin's on. Wyatt made the Black Hills motorcycle map, and he has a free rebirth float night on August 6th. I know I saw that. We're going to have to go there. Wyatt. Remember we saw the video the other night? He looks so old. I mean, I know he's not that old, but I mean, from
He's
when we,
picture, for the 5 years
Yes.
that we've seen, because this is the 6th year, but for us, it's 5 years of doing this. And you guys started the same time we did Wyatt's Lemonade. And we went out to the first year and interviewed him. We were the first official people to ever interview him. We even did him before he went on one of the talk shows in town.
but he looks like
He just looks
a young man now instead of a little boy.
Yeah.
And he does.
Yeah.
The way he talks, and he's just like polished, and
Yeah.
I got this,
That's what they said.
Good for
Someday,
him.
someday he'll probably be governor.
Probably. I would not put that past him. Steven's on. He said, well, at my place, the fast 4 days, 4 seasons, but we did okay with the ride with Sam for 3 days. My place ain't the 4 seasons, but we did okay with the ride. Yes, we did.
And so
It was perfect for what we needed, Stephen. Thank you
we
very
saved
much.
money.
We
It's good about
appreciate it.
saving money because with all the things going on, I'm hoping I don't have to buy tires for the trailer before we leave. But
See,
just
Jeffrey Pope says, Stephen, all you got to do is give him the word, and he'll
Pick
get
you
your
up.
bike. That's all you got to do.
and he's waiting.
Yeah. You can even ride your bike up there. Have a nice ride up there.
All right,
Right
just
up to
wait.
his house,
Let him pick him up. And once in a
Can't make it to
lifetime.
Idaho for the funeral on the 28th, but I'll stream it. Okay, there you go.
So
We
it's-
were thinking that, Neil.
So he's just coming straight to here.
hmm He's going to do all that other stuff. He's going to go to Central Ohio and see some friends and family.
Jeez,
Indiana, Chicago, Milwaukee, and then he's going to come out to Sturgis.
jeez, a lot of stuff to do.
Well, I think when are you? Oh, he's leaving the 2nd, June 20th.
So he won't be there. I think he said June 28th, July 28th.
No, it's June 20th. He's got a ticket for it to go do all this other crap,
Oh.
and then he
But he
doesn't.
wrote me and said what day he'd be in. It was like the 28th. I don't know if he meant June 28th or July 28th. I don't know.
Probably, I don't know. June 20th would be way too early for him, unless he's going to do
Well,
a
he's
lot of
gonna
work for him.
So I don't know
I
what
guess.
all he's doing.
We'll do a 14-hour day with you guys soon.
Is that
14-hour days with you guys so soon. A 14-hour day. Well, I mean, we do 14-hour days, but we don't ride for 14 hours. She wants to ride for 14 hours. She likes to ride. That's her getaway, is riding.
you get there really super early.
They're not getting there that early. Lone Star says, howdy, Lone Star Rider. I'm figuring out about mid-July in Sturgis. There you go. XM Bikers on. How you doing?
He's not going to Sturgis this year.
No, I don't think so. XM Biker?
Yeah, I think he said no, he wasn't going to make it.
Yeah,
I
because
don't think
I
he's been there yet. Either that or he went a long time ago.
don't remember.
I can't remember.
Probably went a long time ago.
So we're going to find out what bike we're going to ride because we're going to go talk to the Harley dealer first, Black Hills Harley, and they said something about maybe they would fix me up with a bike. And then we're going to go talk to the Sturgis one. Tim, he might even be on here tonight. And I need a motorcycle to ride. And then if all else fails, which I've threatened him, I'm going to go talk to Lauren at the Indian dealer because I know she'll give me a bike to ride.
So Karen said she was so excited to have a spot for Sturgis the 85th, but she inquired 3 dogs, and the lady that dog sits for her passed away.
Take dogs with you.
To do that, we always put Charlie with us.
There's a place we can tell you if
So I
you
had to get a refund.
if you want to, if you wanted to get, we know a great place to board your dogs during the day. You can leave them there all day long, right down the street from Kathmandu.
Yep.
And they were very reasonable. And we actually got them from another subscriber that we know. They used to bring their dogs there.
Yep.
Which I guess they have different dogs now, don't they?
I think one's the same,
Oh, is it?
but they, yeah.
But we were going to put
That's-
Charlie there, but he got too sick, so he didn't end up going.
No. And they had a dog too that was just about ready. That place that was going to board him. They had a dog that was about ready to pass away too. Why didn't you bring the bike with you?
Because my bike is in Myrtle Beach.
It was. Well, now it's in Ocala,
Yeah,
and it's probably almost on its way.
So
to
what has happened
Milwaukee.
now, if you don't know, is we no longer can afford to go. Just to tell you how this works. The first year we did this, I made $20,000. You might say, wow, that's really good. Well, we spent $50,000 to do this, where that counted the gas and the oil change on the truck, the places we ate, the campgrounds. We paid for everything because we didn't get comped anything. So that was it. So the next year we did it, kind of the same thing. I made actually less money. We made about $17,000 the second year and spent another $50,000 doing this. Well, bad news is we've spent most of our retirement money between building the shop and doing this. We have very little money in our 401 plans anymore. We do have, we're fine being retired. I have a pension that I get in from my gas company. We're both on Social Security. So we're doing okay. But the point was, I can afford to go to Sturgis. Like right now, we probably have spent, 100, 200. We'll probably spend about $250 in gas to get there. So about $500 round trip to get up there and back with the trailer. We're comp now. The rest, once we get into Sturgis, other than the first place we'll give them like $10 a night for the electric. So that'll cost me for 7 days, $70, probably give them $100. So that'll be $100 more added onto it. But so the next campground is part of our campground membership that we belong to. We'll stay there for 14 days in Rapid City. And then we go to Kathmandu and they sponsor us the rest of the time. So I'm not spending any money there. So that's why we can afford that, because everywhere else we're going. So what I did was last year, we went up to all the vendors that we have and said, hey, you've gotten a lot of great business from us because we referred you. We never asked for anything in return. Now, if you want us to do the rallies, you guys need to start chipping in, pay for our airline tickets and our motels to stay in. So we got a lot of them to step up. Everything, would you watch the scroll through the back? The biggest one we have, which was our original one we had, was Camp Easy Ride. They're at the top of the list. And as they go down, that's the way people gave us money, is down in that order. Now, some of them gave us different things. Like, for instance, right now, we're getting money from Oktoberfest. But Midwest Cycles give me a bike to ride. That's a $300 value a day. So that's money, but not giving me money, but it's going, I understand where I'm at. And then Teddy Morris is giving us the hotel, which their normal night Tuesday night was $169. I don't even know what it is normally there. So we're there from Wednesday to Saturday night. So you have to check out on Sunday. So they're sponsoring us there. They're giving us the room for free. So some places will help us with that. Other ones are like our vendors that we have on there is Boss Hoss. They gave us money that helped pay for going to some of the things. Wide Open Customs, they gave us money to help us out. All About Customs, he's pretty high up in the list. They gave us a pretty good chunk of money. Plus, they helped us get to Myrtle Beach. They hauled the bike because Cam couldn't ride that far. 700 miles would have been too much on her to ride on the back of the bike. So she was going to ride with them. And then she called them and said, do you have any room in the trailer to put Bob's trip bike? And then Joey called me and said, hey, if you need a place, I can put my bike in the trailer and you can just go with us. We're going in one day. And I'm like, why not? I guess. I wanted to ride it, but she didn't want me to ride by myself. So that's what we ended up doing. I don't know if I forgot any of our sponsors or not. We do have a couple people. Emory HVAC sponsors us. He gives us some money. He also gives us a place to stay, gets us a bike to ride for Ocean City. We've also got the Cat House Saloon. They sponsor us for Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. Also, Pig Trail Harley. They give us a motorcycle to ride during that time. He's actually given it to us for about a week, full week. This over a week, about a week and a half. Because we're going to get there extra early this year to give you a bunch of great riding there. And trying to think who else I might have forgot that sponsors us. I did. At the top is Camp Easy Ride. We had Boss Hoss. We had All About Customs. Not the Fair and Exchange. Joey, All About Customs, and then what's Ben's?
Wide Open Customs.
Wide Open Customs. I did say him. Emory HVAC. What's the other gentleman that has the firewalls?
Mike Adams.
Yeah, he sponsors us. Gives us money to help us out. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. Seems like there's some other people I'm missing. But you'll see them out. They always roll up at the end. Those are the people that are actually giving us money to help us out. So we always tell everybody, make sure, even if it's somebody you've seen on our channel that isn't a sponsor of ours, and you decide to go there because we've recommended them great in the past, make sure you tell them, if I'm here because of Bob and Tam. Like right now, we don't have a stereo guy. We're talking to two different companies about stereos, and neither one has come up with anything to sponsor us with yet. And I don't need another stereo.
Well, and it's hard too, because like Dan Kite is the pinstriper and he's done awesome work. He's an awesome guy and he's done a lot of stuff for us. And it's not that we don't want to I mean, we go by and say hi and everything, but it's kind of hard for us to give him a lot of time when the other people that have sponsored us and given us money,
Are
it's
paying
like,
us.
yeah, paying us. It's
So-
like
So we're getting to the point
try to
now.
find
Oh,
a fine tooth.
Speed
Performance
yeah,
Plus.
they sponsor us too. They just came up here at
Daytona.
in Daytona and picked us up for this year. So they're good. So those are
Boss
all
Hoss.
people. Yeah, I said Boss Hoss.
Okay.
Amazon Adam really doesn't, but he helps us out a lot of other ways. But we helped him get started more or less, and we've just been friends for a long time. So I don't. He's not on my list.
We should put him on there. He gave you oil for the
Well, that's for the other bike, but I didn't put Red Rock Harley either because they're not really a sponsor of our channel. Keep telling him to give us a bike, and he keeps saying like that's a good idea, but he never does it.
we got to put the helmet place on there too.
But that's not a sponsor here. That's a sponsor for that should be on our
But what are we getting the money for
bike builds.
I know, but I mean, we're doing the videos on our channel for the bike builds.
I know, so they're getting a free plug off of us, but they're not paying us to do it. We're giving that away to our bike build, so it's separate because it's a non-for-profit. So that's the way it is. So Red Rock Harley Davidson is one of our sponsors for our bike builds, and we've also got the helmet place now.
Intellectual cranium.
No, intelligent cranial helmet.
Yeah.
You said integral.
No, I said intelligent. Well, at first I said integration. It's whatever.
Yeah. So they're a sponsor. They gave a help. We got $650 with the bank. Got to look all those people up and write their names down. They just deposited the money.
Who?
Zeppy.
Oh.
They just deposited $650. I said I only had $250 the other day. So now we got told. So if you want to get in on that helmet, which we'll talk about that as we get going here. We still got our helmet going on. We're probably not going to give that away till after Sturgis because we want to get it up to at least what the helmet's worth. That's a $2,000 helmet.
I want to sell 200 raffle tickets for 25 each.
She wants to make $5,000 off of it.
Because that way, I know at Recom Auction, we'll be able to at least get, hopefully, 2 bikes, at least. And if we get them cheap enough, we might be able to get 3. We'll see. Twisted Tea.
Twisted Tea. Yep, that's one of our sponsors.
Keep it twisted.
Yeah, we're going to do a bunch of stuff with them because we're going to go around this year. This is the clockwork around. For most of the venues, this is their time to renew again with us. So there's only a few exceptions, which...
Speeds.
Well, Speeds just came on. We were late on Camp Easy Ride because they did it after Daytona started. So they kind of go all the way to April next year. So they kind of got messed up a little bit, but that's fine. And they're paying us a monthly fee. Gave us a little money up front and paid us monthly. So that way we got a little money coming in. And I said, that's fine. We don't need it all at once anyway.
Yeah, they're going to have a band playing out there for the root beer float at Wyatt's at Wyatt's Lemonade.
They're having a root beer float?
They're having a root beer float day on the 6th. We watched that whole little video.
You watched it.
You were sitting right
I know,
there.
I've only seen a little bit of him because you said his mom's interviewing him. You saw it.
Oh, you said, yeah, who was
And
interviewing?
that's all
I
we
think
see.
it was his mom.
I didn't watch all of it.
Anyway, yes, they're going to have on August 6th, they're going to have a root beer float night. They're going to have all kinds of yard games. It's going to be all day long. They're going to have bands out there and all that stuff. And that's when he was just sitting there. And like I said, he just looks, I mean, it's like my grandkids. I mean, they're getting too big. Anyway, yes. Neil, no big deal if you don't make it. That'd be awesome though. Any recommendation on places to stay in Rapid City prior to the rally? In a motel or in a campground? And then somebody else asked a question. Oh, what do you feel? Gary asked, how do you feel the Sturgis rally will be supported this year? By the city or by the Patriots coming?
Okay, the rally probably isn't going to be much different than it was last year. But I've seen a bunch of Iron Horse. I just put it on our Sturgis page. A whole bunch of bands that they've got. That Yellow Wolf and a whole bunch of other bands that just came up.
And Tabby Hoyle only had 80 spots left, 60 spots?
60. And I don't know what they got.
Hookup.
So we're going to find out because we're going to get
over 1,000 spots.
Probably tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll get out there and talk to Michael Ballard. And so I think once I talk to him, I'm pretty sure he's probably going to come on camera because he's going to...
Hey, Skippy.
He's going to... There's a lot of misunderstanding going on right now with the Full Throttle. The people don't understand quite how his concert series is going to work. What's free, what's not, what's this, what's that. Well, we want to be able to put him on the channel put a video out just on Full Throttle Saloon. Michael Ballard's going to tell you what you need to know. And then we'll show you all that in the video. And so we're going to talk to him and see. Worst comes to worst, he'll just tell us and then we'll tell you. But it'd do a lot better if he's on
came
there.
from the horse's mouth.
Yes. And I'm pretty sure.
He did say something the other day, didn't he?
Well, I noticed.
He didn't say anything that we said it, but everything that Bob talked about, he wanted
on our breaking news when we did the Full Throttle Saloon behind us, and I said all that stuff that I the way I was thinking it was going to be. They weren't going to let you out of the bar, and I don't know if there's going to be any parking for cars. You know, it's all about motorcycles there. Well, the next day he came out and he said everything. He answered everything I talked about, and so he already had said he's been watching our channel. So you know, Michael's a great guy, and he knows a lot of the people. He's just on. Sturgis Harley Davidson dealer did with Tim the other day. So a lot of the people he knows is people that are our friends too. So Beth used to live next door to him for a while.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, they must have had a house when they were.
Okay.
They must have had a house
when they first came out.
Yeah.
So SNS Contracting says, "Do you stay in a campground or a house in Sturgis?" We stay at a campground at Kathmandu is where we're staying at this year for the rally. Tim Barker, hey, how you doing there, Tim? Looking forward to seeing you in Sturgis. We'll have Pancho with us. He's so excited.
Pancho's coming.
Pancho's coming. He's so excited. He's counting the days. 40 more sleeps. 42 more sleeps. Poor Pancho. I like Pancho. You guys give Pancho a hard time. He's my buddy. Going to.
We'll have to get. Oh no, it's his other buddy. What's the other buddy's name?
Well, Tim is the guy that talks. Pancho is their.
Oh.
Tim Barker, I think is he the mayor of the town they live in? He's the mayor or chief of police or something. Yeah, I don't remember what. I know. I can't remember. Is that shocking?
Yes.
Going to the meetings the last few months in Sturgis, I'm not happy with the new city council members.
From what I'm seeing, I'm not either. But what we're going to do is try to sit down with the mayor. We've got enough people that know the mayor. We're going to talk to the chief. The chief's on the board for the rally. We're going to see if we can get the mayor's ear and talk to him and explain what we think could make this the best rally ever. It already is, but how it can be better than it is. And it's not going to take a lot of money to do this. And so we'll see what he has to say, and we'll go from there. And if it ends up not turning out right, we'll let you all know how that turned out. But we're supposed to talk to the administrator now. To Aaron, is that his name?
Aaron Jordan, yeah.
We're supposed to set up a time to meet with him when we get there. He wants to sit down and talk to us too. He wants us to meet everybody on the board. I'd rather talk to the mayor first and then talk to the people that are on the committee and you know, give them these ideas that we've got. The problem with all of this is I love Sturgis, just like but we were just on the phone with a bunch of people from Sturgis that lives there. And I always emphasize this. I love people. I love the people in Sturgis. I love the city of Sturgis. It's just the bad news is you don't know how to run a motorcycle rally. And that's the problem. And we see that, and they're not the only ones. We see this problem in a lot of rallies all around the United States, that people have no freaking idea what they're doing. And, you know, they hire a promoter or something like that. And, you know, you all see. Well, we see a lot more of this because we go to more rallies than anybody else.
We see a lot of the behind the scenes, and we see a lot of stuff that's going on that nobody ever knows about. Like probably 90% of the people that are coming to Sturgis probably has no idea that the Sturgis City Council has just overturned, and everybody there is brand new, and everybody that used to run the rally is no longer there.
Well, probably if you did the mayor's ride this year, you probably wouldn't know from the last mayor than this mayor what if there was somebody different and it changed from a female to a male. So you probably would have no clue because you're not looking that hard. You're there to have fun. You're there to drink. If you're a drinker, you're there to listen to some great bands, do some great riding, have some great food. And the last thing you're thinking about is what the hell is the city of Sturgis doing?
Who's running this operation?
Yeah. And everything is a little different because everything is ran different. What's going on at the Iron Horse, at the Knuckle, at Full Throttle Saloon, out at the Buffalo Chip. They're all ran independently away from everybody else, and they do whatever they want. So that's the difference. I don't know if anybody heard about the Gentleman's Club. I heard that the city approved another Gentleman's Club. Where's that going to be at?
That's going to be at the Dungeon Bar.
That's it.
Upstairs, up on the third
middle floor.
Middle floor. I thought it was third floor.
So we don't really know what that is. We're going to meet with her.
Well, they kind of had.
What's her name? Her name's not.
It's Tim's daughter, Tyranny.
I thought
I
maybe
think
that's
it's
who
Tyranny.
called us, but that was Karen that called.
No,
Or, not
no,
Karen.
Vicky.
Vicky called us.
D1 says, thanks for you guys getting out there early and getting us great information. Big Whoopi says that they're paving some roads at the Iron Horse Campground. So that's cool. Skippy says there's 104 people on and only 49 thumbs up. So hit that thumbs up button.
And Skippy's in charge of that.
Says
That's right. Skippy keeps
Skippy's in charge of the thumbs up.
Yep. He tells everybody on every video. I pinned that.
Freddie's the other guy, mayor. Oh, okay. Tim says Freddie's the other guy. He's the mayor.
Okay.
Skippy, thanks for that.
So remember, if you're coming to Sturgis, you need to reach out to us when you get there.
Yes, please, please, please.
We will not remember anybody that's coming, other than Neil, because Neil will come find us.
And that's what you guys need to do, because I will forget, and I put a few people's names down when you're coming, especially if you're coming early.
And if you have our phone number, do not leave a message, because we get it like 3 months later.
Text us, because if I don't see it come through,
it doesn't tell you a phone call came through.
And then sometimes I'll listen. Every day I'll say no voice message, no voice message, no voice message, and then like in September,
when we're home,
you've got 25 voice messages, and they're all from Sturgis. So
yes, text us only. Or email us. Don't rely always on this. Because one, this is a live. We're not going to come back to this. I don't look at the comments. And it's too hard for me to go back and remember when somebody writes something in a comment. Like today, somebody was asking about Shade Valley if they could buy a ticket just to see the band. And I'm pretty sure you can. I said, go to the website. He said, well, I did. It's not on there. So we'll talk to him at the bar.
Yeah.
Side hacks. So that's another thing. But he needs to watch our channel, which I told him Bob and Tam's. I said, check out the channel, because he was on the Sturgis page. Check out the channel. We'll talk to them and find out if, I'm pretty sure you do, but you need to buy it ahead of time.
Jana says they shouldn't let the cars drive down the strip. Well, they don't on Main Street, only during the rally. So for those 10 days, from Friday at noon or 5.
I think it's Thursday night at midnight.
Midnight until that Sunday at noon or something.
No, at midnight.
Anyway, for a full 10 days, they don't let any cars up and down Main Street for probably 5 blocks.
Now, they did open the side streets up and on, because I guess there was an emergency a couple years ago, 2 years ago, and the ambulance couldn't get through with the fire truck. I don't know which it was. So they've taken it now. You have to watch if you're parking on one of the side streets there that normally is closed. One side will be parking on motorcycles. Other side's got the signs up that says no parking. And we'll go through that with the chief. We'll have him come out and
we'll
show
show
us
you
all
some
that.
footage last year of them pulling up and hauling the bikes away, towing them off.
I can't show that footage.
So why?
I didn't bring any extra footage.
Oh, well. Mike Skidmore says, hey, Bob and Tam, have you seen the Adam Sandoval's convoy? He stopped at a large dealership that had 16 of those China Bull Benelli Davison motorcycles. Are they maybe Buell? Is it China built?
Well, they've got the ones in Taiwan.
For the riding academy.
Yeah, so which I didn't see it, but I've had a bunch of people come back and say that the 450s are what they're using for the training, which is the Taiwan ones. They're made in Taiwan, or they're made in Taiwan or Indian. They're not made in China, but Taiwan.
Hey, Two Wheel and Tom.
Still Asian.
Pating.
But that's where they're building them in Taiwan, and then also, but yeah, it's still Harley's still all screwed up, and do what you got to do.
If you see Beth on here, S&S Contracting, if you don't have a place to stay yet, Beth has a place, I think the downstairs, she says it's got a living room, 3 queen size beds. I'm assuming it has a bathroom. But email us. I don't know how to get it up there. At bobandtams@yahoo.com. BOBANDTAMS.
I know I can't see because
I know. That's why I couldn't do it. It's down here.
Oh, we could put it up there and just leave it there all the time.
All right. Yeah, because it's under banners. That's not, I guess it's not the right way. Does it say banners? The sun is right in our eyes, so we can't see anything.
Right, I can't do nothing.
It's not on the side or up here.
Yeah, there it is, banners.
So anyway, who am I talking to? S&S Contracting. Also, 160 Biker Chick, she rents out her house, and we know a guy in Rapid City that rents out his basement. I'm not sure. 160 Biker Chick's house probably,
it's
called the Sturgis house. It's probably full.
I think it's full.
There's probably tent camping left. But then Beth, I know she still has some availability.
Now you can go onto our Sturgis page. If you don't know where it's at, I'm not gonna put that up too because I can't see the phone. We have a Sturgis page. It's called
Sturgis Rally
85th.
Sturgis 85th Motorcycle Rally, or Sturgis 85th Rally. Share your info and help.
That's us. So if you go on there, there's a bunch of people that have campground sites that they're renting out. There's somebody that's got a house that they're trying to rent out that had a book. Beth does have a trailer for the whole rally, but you have to take it well, you can take it anywhere you want. Or if you take it to Susie's campground, which is where we're real next to where we are, but it's only boondocking only. So
V-Rider's coming. We saw him. I can't remember if it was Arizona Bike Week or was it Panama City. I think it was Panama City because I think we were going to go to Destin, yes, and you guys just went the day before. So that's where we saw you. So he's coming to Sturgis.
So if you need to get a hold of us, you can email us if you don't have our phone number. If you have the phone number, you can only text us. TEXT. Text only. And then we can call once we know that. If you don't have a phone number, if you email us, we will send you our number. You send us your number, and then she'll write it back and say, this is Bob and Tam. It'll come up, it'll be a 605 number. It's Sturgis.
S contracting, not the dungeon bar at Dungeon. I don't know what that means. I said dungeon bar, didn't I?
Yeah, Dungeon Bar.
I don't know.
Dungeon Bar in Sturgis.
It says not the dungeon bar at Dungeon. I don't know. Maybe I said in Dungeon. I don't know.
No. Dungeon Bar on Main Street.
Yes.
Well, they have the whole building there.
Campground and find you if I have to. Yes, Neil will track us down. Yes. If you send us an email and we don't have the computer open because it goes to our GoDaddy, our website page, and if we cannot respond to that through our phones. We have to be on the computer. So that's why JPatron1, I didn't answer your email.
2 people wrote the other day and
Yes.
we haven't been able to get back at.
So once we get settled and parked and everything, I think he even told me the day before we left, but I was too busy cleaning and getting ready and packing that I'm sorry. But once we get settled, I'll get in there and find those emails and I will respond to you. Mike, thanks for that email. Yeah, if you do, I guess, is that the contact us one?
What? Did I have up there right now? Oh yeah, that's the contact us.
Yeah, so if you do it through the website, it has to be the perfect scenario for us to respond. So I will look at those when we get settled. Danny's on. Hey, Danny, how you guys doing? We'll see you soon.
Our phones keep updating. So the password's usually in my phone and it's a weird phone. It's a weird password because Ryder X set us up on that. And we need to change it to our normal password.
I changed it.
So it's my normal password?
No, it wouldn't let me change it to that. It said it was not strong enough. So we had to add another dog.
So I'll have to look at it because I don't know it. So I can't normally I'm the one that answers all the emails. So I see those came up. I got one about 2 weeks ago and I got one last week.
And he told me about him, but like I said, I can't. If I get a chance to make it up there to the open house, we'll have a meet up and dinner. At your choice, depends on if I can get away from my mom and dad with cancer and hospice. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. So just, if you've got our number, text us and we'll get together with you. Are you there yet? No, we will be there tomorrow. And Danny's on. I don't know if I said hi to Danny. Danny, Lori, Billy, and Tara.
Are they coming to Sturgis?
Yes. And they're the ones that asked how far we were away from Oatman.
Oh, okay.
But if we're home, I'm praying we'll be home. If you guys go through Oatman, that we'll be there.
I'll probably leave pretty quick afterwards. Probably leave on Monday to come home unless the weather or something's crazy.
And I talked to my daughter and she doesn't have any dates planned yet. So I told her maybe wait till the fall. But then your sister might come out. I don't know. Neil says, don't forget the cheapest place to eat of home cooked meals is $17 at the American Legion in Piedmont, exit 46. They'll be nightly and maybe.
You sure they didn't raise it again this year?
Wednesday, not. Oh, Neil says he'll be there nightly, but not Wednesday, probably. James Hyde said it's not only Sturgis following up rally time, it's Daytona, Myrtle Beach, and several others that have made serious flawed decisions lately.
That's right. So, which it is. I'm not saying, but
none of them are perfect.
But what
none of us are perfect.
What is it? Which I've already been approached by 2 other rallies that would actually like me to hire me permanently to help them year round on their rallies. Both places I don't want to move to because of the weather. And I said, I'd be happy to come in and out, but I don't want to stay there. Well, they want me there all the time on the ground. Well, the other thing would be is during the rally, I wouldn't be able to do this. So I don't know. These 2, I told them I wasn't ready right now to do anything. Maybe in a year or so, maybe I'll change my mind. But at this moment, I enjoy what we do. Sturgis would be a different story if Sturgis wanted to do something with us. I would, if they put us in a place to stay for 6 months of the year, I would probably stay up here for 6 months. and help them get the rally up and going and everything else. So I don't know if they want to do anything like that or not, but I mean, they would be the only ones I would think about it, because that's one of the things we've thought about before. We came out here in October a couple years ago because I really wanted to do Sturgis year round. What's different is Sturgis here, typically the city, Black Hills Harley, Full Throttle Saloon, and the Buffalo Chip, about 2 to 3 weeks after the rally, they're already looking at next year what they're going to do. Well, we want to put that out. And what we would do is we'd fly up about 3 or 4 times a year on our own time to get for them to feed us that information. Well, I think the Full Throttle Saloon would do it. The problem with Black Hills Harley now is it's owned by the Scenic group. So they may not know everything right away, but some of the places don't know everything until the last minute anyway. It's
And a lot of them don't like to talk about it until it's set in stone.
they don't want nobody else to know that's what they're doing.
I know, but it's like if they would like put it out there and say, hey, we're thinking about this. What does the public think? And then we could do a video on it and say, hey, what do you guys think?
Well, it's just like you said, the Iron Horse Campground asphalted their parking lot. That would be a great thing to be if we were out there to show either it's finished or they were working on it or something when we stopped by. And that would make a big, to me, if I was thinking about coming out and I'm like, well, I don't know where. Oh, that Iron Horse, they just paved a bunch of roads. We're going to stay there, cut the dust down. If it rains too much, like it did a couple years ago, it won't be all muddy. Hey, so they may end up getting video from that. And then the idea of us is well, the bad news would be we would no longer do the East Coast rallies. We would do a few small rallies a year and then Sturgis the rest of the year, and that would be it. And do our veteran bike thing, and that would be all we would do. Which is the same thing here. When people said it last year, you said you weren't going to do Daytona, and we showed up. Well, we said the same thing. We got to get the sponsors for next year, which I think we will, because there's a couple of the sponsors have already asked us if we needed money for this year yet, and we're like, no, we're doing all right. We're doing good. Stephen helped a lot we stayed with him for that week. So that saved me $1,200 that we would have had to pay in a motel room. So that saved us some money. So like here going to Teddy Morris's, we're renting a car because we're flying in Orlando. It's cheaper. Renting a car. They're giving us the hotel. The money's going to pay for our airline tickets, and it paid for the car rental. So they're paying for that. And then
Midwest Motorcycles is giving us a bike to ride.
Yeah, and then Teddy Morris there is giving us the place to stay. So that's how that all came together. And a lot of people say the same thing. Why don't you do Laconia? We want you to do Laconia. Well, there's the problem.
It's very far away.
Yes, that's our first, which I told. We have no sponsors up there, which, yeah, some of my vendors go up there, but they're not going to justify enough for us. I don't even know where the closest airport is. If we did fly in up there, I have no idea.
Probably in Massachusetts, I would think.
I have no idea. So then you're back to renting a car. So let's say it's $1,000 to fly there for both of us. It'd be like going to Florida, maybe could be more. The trip to going to Daytona for Biketoberfest is $1,200. So it's a little bit, it's $250 more than what it costs to go to Daytona because more people are just wanting to come during the fall. It's cooler. It's past the hurricane season. But then we got to find a place to stay. Then we need a motorcycle. I have no access to motorcycles up there. And I'm not looking to rent a motorcycle. It's too hard to do. It's the legality and all that on there. And for what they want to, to rent a bike from, what's the rental place? Eagle Rider. You're looking at $2,000 to $3,000 to rent a bike for a week. And that's just a lot of money. And you could rent a bike from the people that rent a bike. I don't want to do that. Emory HVAC tried to do that a couple years ago for us. And when he called the guy goes, "Oh, it broke down. Or I sold it or whatever."
No, he never did get a confirmation. When he called to confirm it, the guy was like, "I didn't get nothing." So anyway, that kind of fell through. But he no. First year we had the Honda, electric Honda. Yeah.
No, it was electric automatic.
So Hindra's on, and we figured out because Rowan's not going to get to come this year, but we tried to figure out, and it looked like it was going to cost. It said to fly from Sydney, Australia to Denver with a layover in Los Angeles would be about $2,000 round trip. That was everything. And I didn't think that was too awful bad, but then it was going to cost him about another $1,000. That would be for 3 weeks if he stayed to rent a car. Because I don't think he has a motorcycle or a motorcycle license.
Then you also have the dollar difference.
Yeah. So anyway,
Like Canada coming in.
G. Grazzy says it would be a blast if they hired you. That would be smart for them to do that. To help you.
So I don't know. We're going to talk to them. I'm not going to offer that yet. We're going to offer the part of it. We'd be happy to come in and help them. We're going to give them a bunch of suggestions on how they can get this going better right now. And that's the difference. And some of the people, some of the different venues have figured it out because we've worked really hard at what we do. And we've got some of the best connections in the industry.
And we've got a good reputation, I think. I think a lot of
most people know we're here to give out good information. You know, that's some of the things that like Oktoberfest. Oh, you can't show nudity. You can't show if somebody had a wreck. You can't show a fight. You can't show this and that. Well, we don't do that anyway. So it's like there's enough other YouTubers out here that are putting out a bunch of crap, and some of them are putting out stuff that you don't need to see it. You don't need to see a fight. You don't need to see, half the time when people are getting tickets, they deserve them. But to have somebody stand there and go, oh, they're giving this veteran a ticket. Can you believe it? These cops are a bunch of a-holes. Oh, well, you didn't know that the guy already got warned twice for revving his bike up. He deserved to go to jail if it would have been me at the cop, because we told you twice, quit revving your bike up on Main Street. The guy comes back through. I don't care if you're a POW. I don't care if you're a veteran. I don't care who you are. You broke the law. You were told to do something. It'd be like the guy decides he wants to rob a bank. And well, because he's a veteran and he was a POW, which I don't know if he's a POW.
He had a POW flag on the back of his head.
And so I'm assuming he was a veteran. But does that give him special treatment that he should be able to get away with stuff that if the police tells you to not do something,
doesn't matter who you are.
That's right. Just like us. We have never, ever been pulled over during a rally. Ever. Out of all the rallies we've been going to our whole life, all that, never got to a checkpoint. We got pulled over by Barney 5 coming to the rally. And we got pulled over with the truck before the rally because I had the plate. I had a vanity plate that said Sturgis on it. And the cop actually ran the plate of Sturgis and it didn't come back. It's like, hello, it's a vanity plate. So he made him take this, because we transferred the plates there, and the sticker, pulled it off the window.
Pulled it off the window.
I said, why don't you call the chief? You talk to the chief about us. Well, the girl was real nice. I think it was the young guy was a new cop, and they were training him, and he was doing it. And he did a job, and that's fine.
He did.
I didn't give him a hassle, but it was before the rally. And I said, you don't know it, because it's on the back of the truck. You don't know who we are.
Well, who else said they didn't know? Oh, the city administrator
had no idea who Bob and Tim are.
He says, now tell me who you are. And he says, and what do you do? And what kind of platforms are you on? And I was like, well, you can talk to the chief and ask him. Well, the chief was one of the people. What he wants to do is get a group of the committee together, so many of them, 4 or 5 of them, and himself, and have us come in and interview all of them. And anyway, I
do the chief by himself, so we're not interested. Chief can be there, but we're not interested. I'll tell the chief he doesn't have to be there. He'll be glad to say that he didn't have to be there.
G. Grazzy says, totally agree. I'm probably not saying Grazzy. Am I saying your name right or not? Neil says, what's that name?
Dog legs.
Oh, come here, puppy. I'm probably going to get you in trouble. Come here. Hi.
No leg dog.
It's a corgi.
I call them no leg dogs.
He says they're little dinosaur dogs because they got little bitty short legs. Oh, he laid down. He said he's going to visit a while.
Says I got some shade.
Yep. Are you hot?
So there you go.
She's
visiting a dog.
Okay. Oh, he went over there. Yeah, I got to see a yellow lab earlier this afternoon.
Oh, that what you were yelling at the Mavericks?
Yeah.
Gas station.
Yeah, it was a yellow lab. It was 7 years old.
We've had no trouble so far.
Stepped on the gas and it didn't go.
Well, I think it's because the cruise was on. Maybe that's why it did it.
Oh.
Because the pedal comes back up, and then when I stepped down on it, it was that lull spot. I'm gonna pee right here by us.
There you go. Yep.
Must peed on my foot. Darn dog. Damn dinosaur dog. Got midget legs. A dinosaur.
It's like
dinosaur.
Stop it. No, and I used to hang out.
Good thing dinosaurs don't have to put glasses on because they wouldn't be able to get it up.
In the day, yeah. S&S Contracting said that they used to work at Sidex. He said it was a shame she had to sell. She sold it, but she understands. They understand. I don't know if S&S Contracting is a man or a woman, because whenever I assume, I'm wrong. And they said they used to work for on and off throughout the years, even in the off season. Bob and Tam, I tried to call for prices, but got 3 answering machines. I'll let you know and call back about the prices for the Piedmont.
Oh, that's Neil.
Yeah.
Check to see if they raise the prices.
He said he can't get a hold of him. I guess he's trying to call now. SNS contracting said they don't care for the new owners as much. Yeah, they're the same people that own
Shade Valley.
And actually, they used to be neighbors, not neighbors, but they lived in Bullhead City, where we have our house at. Skippy says, thumbs up. What's the name again for your 300 a day bike place on Junction?
Oh, Midwest Motorcycles.
Oh.
So what you can do is they're in Daytona and they'll have a store there. It's the same phone number. It's is it in this phone? Give them the phone number. Have you had in the phone? She'll give you the phone number here. What?
I wanted to see where the doggy went. Yeah. He's back
he's
there.
back there standing. She'll give you the phone number.
Wait
Call
for his
Heavy Ed.
mama.
You talk to what's Heavy Ed's girlfriend's name? Doesn't matter. She'll answer the phone.
I want to say Penny.
But $300 includes everything. It's their insurance, it's your taxes, it's everything but gas.
Christine is her name. Okay, so Heavy Ed's number is 386-295-9729. One more time. Heavy Ed Midwest Motorcycles on Junction to rent a bike for $300 a day. You rent 5 days or more, it's a little cheaper, but that includes your taxes.
I already said that.
All that is 386-295-9729.
And it's also if you want to run them in Daytona, it's the same phone number.
Yeah.
So he brings his phone, it's a cell phone.
And they also, if you're not renting a bike and you got your own bike and you break down, hopefully you won't, but if you break down somewhere, they have towing 24/7.
And that's what's cool about him, because if you rented it from one of the other companies, this place has got their own tow truck, they got their own garage to work on it. So if, say, something did happen to the bike, they can go get it, bring it right back. You're not sitting on the side of the road waiting for some independent tow truck company to show up and then taking it to Harley and standing in line because it's first come, first serve there, where he would take it back to the shop, either give you another bike, or if they're all out, he fix that one as quick as possible, get you back on the road.
So Desert Cat, no, we're not going to Newcastle. We came up through Wyoming. So we're going to hit the 90 when we get up in the morning. I think we're only, if got that on auto, it sounds like it's going on and off.
It's already too cold in there.
So we're going to hit the 90 on the west side of Gillette.
Yeah.
And then we're going to head in that way.
Yeah. 229 miles.
Away from Sturgis.
Yep.
Hindrazon says, little cat want to play with him. It's not a cat, it's a dog. It's a Corgi dog. See it or not? Oh, here, you'll be able to see in a minute. There he is.
Here you go.
So it's a regular sized dog with itty bitty legs.
Dinosaur legs.
Put your feet down, stop.
Right
Don't wear. Oh, isn't that nice?
He's taking a crap in our yard.
We have no dog. We'll tell the lady that we're renting from. The put your feet down at stops. Don't wear dark glasses at night. 2 big thumbs that the popo look for. 2 big things the popo look for.
Yep. Make sure you come to a complete stop, because that's what they really say is you have to be in control of your motorcycle.
See you soon.
They say so a lot of wrecks happen at stop signs or traffic lights because it ends up being, somebody's not watching, and because a lot of times what happens with if you've been riding a motorcycle very long, most of the time people in cars do not see motorcycles. So you came up to a stop sign and did a quick roll up, and they were coming up. They didn't really get a good look at you there. They're going to take right off too. Next thing you know, you're underneath the car, and maybe your bike's all tore up, or maybe you're all damaged, or you slammed in the side of the car. So
yeah, last year coming back from one of the rides, what ride was it? The one that Adam Amsoil went on. Remember? And then was on.
Yeah, that was that the Dungeon Bar?
Junction.
It was Dungeon Bar ride.
Okay, and yeah, I guess I don't know. They were. I
think what happened was
they were too far apart, and they thought, well, I don't have to stop at that stop
because
sign.
Everybody else was going on the bikes, and a guy pulled up and didn't see the first set of bikes go through, and he just came up and plowed into
the other
bike.
Bikes just went and they hit. So yeah, you gotta keep your eyes open, head on the swivel. That's what they say. Yeah. Thank you. Someone asked, and okay, thanks, Tam. There you go. Midwest Motorcycles. That's the phone number. Now you got it.
And if you ever need information, you can always email us, and I'll write you back. This email I look at every day. I constantly look at it off and on all day long.
It's the contact us at Bob and Sam's. We don't have direct access to. I'll have to put the thing in your phone again.
And so I can respond, because what I did is I was able to respond to one person, but then they wrote back and it wouldn't let me go back, which I don't know why it wouldn't let me go back again, which was kind of stupid, but that's the way it's set up on that one. The other one, our bike builds, is the same thing, but it goes to the bike builds. Well, it goes to that same email too.
Oh, well, I don't know. It should be. But see, sometimes if they do it through the email.
Well, sometimes you can respond to the email, but it didn't act like it wanted to let me do that.
Outlook. It was the contact us one.
Yeah.
Guest user message for Bob and Tam.
See if you just reply. Where's it go? No, don't do that. Just go like you were going to hit. Is there a reply there? Hit reply. Does it put his email up?
No.
What email's on there?
It doesn't have any email.
Well.
No, Chris Johnson. Okay, welcome to the Patine Total Experience. Hey, Chris, are you guys going to come? I can't remember. You guys are so darn busy. I know you can't always get away, but it was good seeing you in Myrtle Beach for the little bit I got to see you. Bob got to see you guys more than me. Skippy says, good night, everybody. Whoops, I hit it. So Skippy's going. Thanks, Skippy. Thanks for all your help. Indra's on. He's giving a smile. Thomas Ajee says, thanks, Bob and Tam. Hope to be there and see you guys. Send the email.
Who's the green?
It's Chris Johnson.
Oh, I didn't hear you say anything.
It says he must have got a sticker. He became a sticker member.
All right.
Welcome to the Patine Total Experience.
There you go.
It says.
Yep.
I can't put it up because
Yeah.
Neil says small fire plug for a shorty dog. You need a little bitty short one. Janice said good night to Skippy. Big Whoop says aloha, Skippy. Skippy's waving to everybody. Skippy gave a big heart. Morning in my home, Janice. There you go. It's morning for Hindra and Rowan.
Sure,
Rowan's not on either.
Yeah.
And Monica and Isabel, they've been traveling all over. They want to go to, I guess they want to come down by us.
I
Yeah.
want to go to Utah. I want to ride on that long road.
The road that was on, that Forrest Gump ran on. It's in Utah.
We were on a couple roads a day that looked like they could have been longer than that.
But it didn't have that scenic
Yeah.
picture at the end of it. We took some pictures. I'll have to post them on Instagram, I guess. I haven't done anything in a long time on Instagram.
It's her job. I do X and
well, I was always
TikTok.
wanting to take his videos, and there was supposed to be a way. Who was going to show me? Palmoto was going to show me how to make a short out of one of his videos, and then I would post that on Instagram. But I don't know. I never got that far, and Palmoto never showed me. Corey says, hope to see y'all this year. That's our email. If we don't have your phone number, you don't have ours, email us at bobandtams@yahoo.com, and we'll switch phone numbers, and then you can text us. Text. Don't call that number because that phone doesn't always.
Right. If we don't have it turned up and she don't hear it, it won't show that you called.
Yes, and I won't see it for sometimes a couple weeks to a couple months.
We'll be home.
Yes.
Or we might be in Oktoberfest by the time we get notified.
So
last rally of the year.
Thomas says, what's your favorite route in Sturgis? If I can make it, I'll be coming from Golden Valley. Thomas is right in our backyard too.
We just come the fastest route, which is we just come through Las Vegas, take the 15 up to the 80. We go around Salt Lake City, which takes you by a waterfall, really cool waterfall.
Yeah, I'll post that.
We actually got to stop today because usually it's always so busy that we can't, there's not enough room to pull.
But it was earlier this morning, and it's Sunday, so there wasn't a lot of people on
so
the
there was
road.
nobody behind us, so I was able to pull over. She got some shots with the camera and with the video.
But you go through Park City and come up and hit the 80 that way, and then stay on the 80 till you get to Rawlings.
And make a left.
And then come up.
Go north
until you either get to Casper or the 25, and then the 25 will take you.
Or you can just go all the way through Casper, take you up to the 90. Then you make a right, you come out in Gillette, make a right, and that takes you right into Sturgis.
You still have to turn off a couple little roads to get up to
Gillette. You just follow the sign that says Gillette.
Gillette. I don't know.
Gillette.
Thomas said thank you.
So
send us your number and we can meet up when we get home.
And I mentioned it the other day on a short, but if you didn't hear it. Some people always talk about us. We don't always pronounce things right. Sometimes when I say Harley Davidson, I drop the D off of it instead of Davidson. That is
Missouri.
Well, part of just like pronouncing things. For those that always want to try to correct me, I've got a whole list of California names that I want you to pronounce properly. So unless you're
Well,
Spanish,
even in St. Louis,
yeah, we could do that too.
because there's a lot of French
Yeah.
names in St. Louis
And
that people
so
don't say.
we could do the same thing to everybody else. And just because we're covering it doesn't mean, because in some cases, like here, it's supposed to be
Rockford or Rochford.
yeah, Rochford Road. We said Rockford originally, and we were corrected by people in town, told us it was Rochford. And that's what we did. And when somebody else wrote me the other day again and said, you're not pronouncing it right, you need to talk to the locals. We did. So this time we're going to go out to what's the bar?
Moonshine Gulch.
Moonshine Gulch, and we're going to talk to the people that live out there and have them say on camera how to pronounce it. And so, but even at that, we for instance, Missouri is pronounced Missouri. Illinois is pronounced Illinois. There's no noise in Illinois. There's a lot of people that New Orleans is New Orleans.
Narlands.
Some people say Narlands and stuff like that. There's no wrong way of saying something because it depends on where you're from, what your accent is, because you weren't there when the person named
the
it,
town.
where you
named
knew
the
how
state.
they did it. It's kind of like our last name. Our last name's Hoffman. Well, there's people that have two N's on the end. There's people with an F. Well, if you go back to the old Germany, where we're originally from, it came with double F's and one N. And the reason it ended up with some people have a U for Huffman instead of Hoffman, it's because they were sloppy and they didn't bring their O together. So it changed it. The N, it got to be too many N's. They kind of did a double hump at the end, double N's. The F, they dropped one of them. So that's kind of how, but not saying that any of those are wrong, but that's just the way that they spell their name today. You have to go back to history, but what difference does it make? None. So if we pronounce something wrong, we're not doing anything intentionally. Some people get bent out of shape because I say Davidson. What I prefer to say would be just to say it's Harley and be done with it and just say, well, my Harley, my Harley, my Harley. I don't need to say Davidson by saying the name, or I could just go the other way and just say HD all the time, if that would make everybody kind of happy. But in my case, I don't really care. If I pronounce something wrong, if I drop the D on Davidson, because that's what they said. Well, when you said Karen Davidson and when you said Bill Davidson, you said the D. But when you say Harley Davidson, you say Harley Davidson. That's because that's the way I grew up. And that's the way, when I was a kid, that's the way we said it in Missouri. So that's the way I say the whole name.
SNS Contracting said it's pronounced misery. That's what my grandpa had always said. Misery. I live in misery.
But
you know how to spell Mississippi? I'll tell you how my grandpa told me how to spell it.
But we won't go through all that. But that's where we are. So I'm not that.
Neil says I'll give you some Wisconsin names too.
Yeah. And we'd be happy to put that out and have people call us and we'll put them on recording or we'll do lives and they come on.
When we went to Laconia, we went through Massachusetts. I don't say it right. And everybody kept saying, you're not saying it right. Well, I get to Massachusetts and I think, all right, whatever. And I asked them, how do you say it? And they say, I say, where are you from? What state? Mass. They just say Mass. Well, I can say Mass. I can't say Massachusetts, whatever it is. Just say it.
Massachusetts. You say Massachusetts. Like you got a hoof.
Whatever.
It doesn't matter.
It's itty bitty.
It's a little bit. It's a shade
with a great big name.
But it doesn't matter. When she says it, you still know what she's talking about. But I mean, people just, it's like people get on Facebook all the time and they say, "Well, you didn't write a full sentence." Like I said, I'm so glad you're the vocabulary police for the
grammar police. Grammar police.
Facebook, because this isn't, I'm not. I don't write a book. And I admitted the other day that we were misinformed, that we were told that the racetrack was over by the high school, which there's another field there. And then the other one, which ended up being Devon, which is Wyatt's dad. He rode me and we kind of finally figured out where it was at. And so I was wrong. So the next day I put it on that at the end of the video, we showed a picture of where the field's at and where the racetrack's at. It's on the opposite. It's actually right almost across the road from Jack Pine Gypsies, but across the highway. And there's some baseball fields back there. You got to kind of weave around. If you go around the back way there, you see that.
We've come around. That's why I told him. I said, we've come around that way a lot of times because you have to go under a train trestle to get down and it takes you right down to Main Street.
Yeah.
So it's not really very far from the west side of Main Street.
But the fire department's back there. They got a fire department back there. There's a school back there. Middle school. I think that's the middle. Yeah, it's the middle school back there. Grade school. I don't know what it is. There's a new school back there. And they got a bunch of ball fields back there. But they did the fireworks. They do the fireworks from there.
Yeah.
And so we've been back there, but didn't realize that was a track. I thought it was a running track, like field and track, like for the school. And so we were wrong. And we were informed wrong by local people told me wrong. So I'm okay with that. And I kind of said, hey, you know, we screwed up.
Before we say anything, we try to call and get the correct information. But sometimes.
But I actually talked to Flat Track about that. And they kind of agreed with me too before. So I don't know. I don't know how we got screwed up on it. We corrected it. We'll show you where that's at when we get there. We'll do a video on that while we're there. This is one of the places they're talking about. Some people say they do races there every year. I don't think they have been doing any races there for a long time. I think when I was looking on the internet, I think it was like 1976 or something, or 86 was the last time they had a race at that flat track. Now, across the road, which is where Jack Pine Gypsies is, yes, there's a bunch of racing on there. And they used to have racing out at in Rapid City, out at the racetrack out there, which is way, 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 way out of the town.
By the airport.
Yeah. And so we don't know. When we get there, we're going to sit down with Jack Pine Gypsies. We're going to find out what they've got going on. We're going to let you know what they've got going on. Somebody told me they're going to do a flat track racing at the old track. We'll find out, and we'll be able to give you all the factual information. Once we get there, what I'm doing now is we're talking to people on the phone and we're doing all this. If we get all these people in place, and if most of them are pretty good, Jack Pine Gypsies, he'll come on. He's been on camera before, so he'll talk to us. So a lot of people will come on camera, and so they're going to tell you what they've got going on at their venues and things like that. And that's why we rely mostly on that. But once in a while, we get somebody that says, I don't want, like Michael Ballard. For years, he didn't want to do camera because he always wanted to do his TV show. He wanted the Full Throttle to come back. Bad news is, which is really sad. A lot of you may know the Full Throttle TV show and all that. But for a couple years ago, I started talking to some younger people, and they're like, what are you talking about? I didn't realize it had been over 15 years ago that the Full Throttle TV show was out. And I'm like, holy crap, that's a long time ago. So, yeah, there's probably a lot of people that don't know where the old Full Throttle used to be.
It was like around 2010, 2011, because that's the first time
the 74th is when it burnt down. And so it's
after the 75th.
Yeah, it's after the 75th it burned down. And but yeah, it's already been 10 years since it burned down. And that don't even seem like it's been that long.
Nope. So Chris Johnson wants to know where we're going to meet up to eat. What days you're going to be here? You'll have to text me because I don't know what days you're going to be here and what we're going to be doing.
Where we're going to be.
Yeah.
A lot of people want that too. I've had people ask us, what is your plan? We have no plan. Because I fly by the seat of my pants, because a lot of times we get up in the morning and I look on the phone and I'm like, holy crap, look what they're doing over in Rapid City. We're going to the dealership. And
we had plans to go to
wherever.
Yeah.
And so sometimes some things overrule what we've done in the past. So we're trying to get, like, we don't do Topless Tuesday anymore. And just because it's a whole day, and to do topless stuff, it just isn't worth my time and all that. Once in a while we'll do some wet t-shirt contests, put that on our Patreon page and stuff, and some other videos that I still got to put the bikini show on there. I didn't do that the other day that we had filmed. I don't know where that's even at. I was going to put that on Patreon, the whole show. Oh, from Hammerhead Fred's. I was going to put the whole thing on because I only put little spotlights on it. I was going to put that on there. Just things. It doesn't matter. You can still.
No, I wanted to see how long we've been on. Hour and a half. You got 30 minutes.
All right. So pretty exciting. So a lot of things going on, a lot of things. So we'll try to give you guys as much information as possible. You can always keep emailing us and let us know, hey, can you find out about this? Can you find out about that? And if you are a venue that are there, reach out to us and say, hey, like we had a guy a long time ago, was it the Iron Horse? What was the one he wanted to invite us to dinner, and then we we end up calling his daughter or whoever runs the campground, and she didn't know nothing about it. And it's like, whatever, I don't care. Was inviting us out for a steak dinner there.
Well, they have steak dinners there, and they said we want to treat you guys to a steak dinner. So we talk about it. No, I think it was even before. Oh. And I don't know if it wasn't the Iron Horse. It was the one before it. What's that one before it?
I don't know.
I can't think. But anyway,
She called twice, and they both times she talked to people, they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know who you are, and I don't know what you're talking about. And I said,
And
well,
it's
do you
like-
guys have steak dinners? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. Because I guess they didn't sign it. I guess it was just sign the campground. I don't know. And it was like, it's not a big deal. We were just going to come out there and give them a plug. And
that's
So-
fine. If they don't want to do it, that's fine too.
I've got a commercial.
So I don't,
I got a commercial, Neil.
the problem is what runs into it, because we get this a lot of times where people will say, well, we want you to cover Hill City and we want you to cover the retirement center out there. They have breakfast every morning. Well, they don't start till the rally starts. Well, the odds of us getting out there to Hill City for breakfast in the morning is slim to none once the rally starts.
Well, that's what happened. I called the lady at the Chamber of Commerce and she said, oh, this is some things I want to talk about. And I said, okay. And she said, but I can't do it now. Let's wait till the rally starts. And I'm like, we can't. That's why we come out 8 weeks early to give you a chance to plug it before they get here. Because if you're coming out, you're probably not going to watch us while you're out here. 9 times out of 10, you might watch it once you get back home to see if you made any videos, but
some people do. Some people look at it, if they're out there for the whole week, they'll watch today's video and do stuff. We've had people come up and say, I did everything you guys did yesterday. And so they're behind us a day
behind.
But typically, most people are so busy doing stuff, they don't really have a chance to see everything going on. So they're watching the videos that we've done the 7 weeks before the rally. You're watching all those to get an idea what's going on. But we get this all the time where the bars are like, we're not ready to talk to you yet, or we don't have somebody. Can you come back this day? Come back. Well, we usually, most time, we'll do twice. I used to do 3 times, but I don't have time to do that anymore. There's just way, just like I say, we're going to be out here for 8 full weeks, and we're still not going to get every single thing covered. I guarantee that. And that's the way Sturgis is. There's just too much stuff going on. Plus, there's a lot of times there's same stuff going on. And it's just like at Neil out at Piedmont. Probably either the dinner or a breakfast. So we luckily we can get one of those in. Other than that, it won't happen. We can't make every night out there to have dinner or every day to have breakfast there.
Well, we'll think the day before or the next day, we'll think, oh, we want to go get chicken. And then, like you said, something will happen and we'll end up here, and then somebody will call and we'll end up there. And we're 50 miles away from the chicken place to go get chicken dinner.
We're going to try to get the chicken dinner we got to call when we get there tomorrow and see what their hours are, if they're open during the week, if they're there all week, if they're only there on the weekends.
Sure they're open now because that's Memorial Day and the lake's open.
So if they are, then we'll probably be down there this week maybe and have fried chicken already.
Hey, Fun on Wheels is on. Hey, Joe, how you doing? You guys always have good info. Thanks, Tom. And see you all next live. Hendra says he's getting off. If you get there before the rally Fridays, you can eat the steak tips, some of the best steak tips in Latin America.
Yep. And we usually go there with one of our...
years, I'd watch you guys in cycle drag the night before.
Oh, we got a card from... Did we send Doug the money for that?
Yeah.
So we got a card for that.
Yeah.
A gift card. And we usually go with a friend of ours that we stayed with years ago.
On those beef tips. The first time we had them, they were superb. Next time we went, they either got a new chef or they got new.
Last time we went, they were okay.
Yeah, they were okay. They weren't nothing to write home about.
First time.
When we went, because they have the little basket you can get, we'll split them, and I'll eat like 2 of them, and he'll eat the rest. You get like 10 or 15 of them in the little basket for like $15
during the rally.
During the rally. Okay.
So we're also going to be talking to the Knuckle. We've already reached out to them. He's going to meet with us probably sometime the end of June. I think he gets back in town June 22nd. So sometime in that time, we'll be talking to Curtis.
Okay.
From the Knuckle. So we'll be sitting down with him, and he's been doing some stuff on Facebook. If you want to know a little bit more about the Knuckle, what bands he's got set up and all that. They got a barbecue place now. We're probably going to check that out and see how their barbecue is. See if it ranks up to JR's.
They've always asked about this /J Saloon, and that's out there close to where Neil used to stay. That's July. Anyway, we've always seen it, and a couple people have told us about it, but we've never stopped there either. So, but we'll go to J Orange Roadhouse too. That's for sure. The barbecue. The only thing they need to get is French fries. You have to get potato chips.
Well, they don't have fryers, that's why.
I guess.
Probably their insurance might be different.
They've got potato salad and coleslaw
barbecue stuff.
But he doesn't eat none of that. He's got to get a bag of potato chips.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Stop McDonald's on the way.
We're staying at Glencoe this year. Y'all be fun filming any content there? Probably not.
Well, beforehand it is. We'll be in there the week before.
Yeah.
They let anybody in. And then we usually go in probably the Wednesday or Thursday beforehand, before they open the gates and stuff. Some of our friends that we know, they go in there. They didn't want the owners of that. We know who they are. They actually live down
We
the road
talked
from
to
us.
them.
That they decided they didn't really want us to promote. They didn't want us to promote Glencoe, and that's fine. It doesn't matter. We know enough about Glencoe. We've got Tony. He'll come on the channel and tell you anything and everything you ever want to know about Glencoe. I think this will be his 13th year in a row of being at Glencoe. He stays right there on Booby Road, and the same spot every year. And he always invites us out, but we try to get him one night because like for $25 you can come in for 8 hours. And we were going to come in one on a Friday night, the first Friday, and it was so freaking crowded that you couldn't even. We stood in line for a half an hour and didn't even move. And I'm like, no place is worth my time, especially I'm paying for it. Would have paid $50. Typically nowadays, I don't pay to do anything anymore because of the channel. We're promoting your business and things like that, and so. That's it. There's things that we still haven't heard about. We should be covering the museum. They'll have the museum breakfast and all that on, is that Tuesday or Thursday?
I think it's Wednesday. With the same. Remember, we had to do the breakfast, and we went to Hewlett. They all met us there, and then we went out to Hewlett that day. Remember?
Yeah.
So I think it was Tuesday the year before, because that's what we were thinking. Then we found out like three of the things we were planning on doing all happened to be on Wednesday.
And sometimes that happens. So we see how that all turns out. So we'll see how that goes. And as it gets closer, we're looking at, we got to get a hold of somebody tomorrow. You can probably still call him tonight.
Sure.
Jeff, and see if he found out anything about that. We might have another promotion and give away some cool stuff in
the works.
And do a meet and greet, which we have to talk to the person, see if we can do a meet and greet there. We're going to probably have 2 or 3 meet and greets during the week, and we will let you know some of the hottest places in Sturgis is where we're going to have our meet and greets.
Yep.
So we'll get that all set up, and we'll be letting you know real soon on that, because we should know both of those two. We should know in the next week or so that if they're going to work out. I think the one is going to definitely he'll do it. I think he'll be glad to do it and give us a spot.
Yeah.
And maybe he'll give us some free stuff to give away. We'll see what he says.
That would be nice.
We'll see what he says.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk to him. And then we actually have a couple other places. If the other one changes their mind, we could probably do one at one of the other bars in Sturgis.
Well, on Sunday morning, we'll probably have a place to go.
Yeah.
We have to get the details on that too.
Yeah.
So we have to get to town and get all this stuff worked out.
Right. In 24 hours, we'll know a little bit more.
That's right.
Really about 48 hours. So we're not going to do too much tomorrow.
Probably not.
Right. Get all set up. If we get into where we want to be, get her battery out of her bike, probably go to Walmart and get a new battery for her bike, get it running. And then Tuesday, we got to go first thing in the morning to the dealership, see if we can get my bike all set up. And then we'll make a journey into Sturgis. And we'll see what we can all get set up on Tuesday. So we'll show you a few things going on in Sturgis and for Tuesday night. And then go from there. And then we'll be on a roll.
Yep. Meet and greet at White's Lemonade. Free lemonade, Devin says. We could do that. We've been there before.
Yeah.
Will the high school be doing a breakfast this year? We'll have to check on that because they didn't do it last year. Remember, they didn't do the shower or the breakfast last year.
That's what they did, but not the other.
Didn't do either.
Yeah. So we'll find out. We'll get with all the people like that and find out what's going on and get back with you. We should have called the school before they closed up. I guess that girl lady's still in the office.
I got the principal's phone number. Remember? Because we kept trying to get, and they said, call him. Well, he was in Hawaii, and he gets back, the day before the rally. You're just about done anyway.
Really thirsty.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I can't see.
How long have we been on? What's somebody tell you?
They can't see that. An hour and 33 minutes.
An hour and 33? You said we only had 15 minutes to go.
No, I said 30 minutes, but it was like 28 when I looked before. 33. Is that what it says? 133?
106 people on it.
I told you.
Holy smokes. Da 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 da. Pating to the nation. It's almost like Sturgis numbers.
You've been dancing all night.
Little dinosaur legs. And see, somebody watched the video the other day when I went to the dump and all that, and said, I wasted my
Oh,
time,
yeah.
which was only a 6-minute video to start with. He says, I wasted my time watching that. And I can't believe how many of you have gone on there and said they enjoyed that video so well. It was ridiculous. And I got one guy that says he wasted his time watching that video. Well, I wrote the guy and said, you know, some people want to know a little more about us, what we do behind the scenes. You know, it's not all, you know, you see a little bit more of us being little dinosaurs and her laughing like she's crazy. And so, yeah. Is Lisa still on? She couldn't figure out that we're the same in person as we are on our lives. We do the same thing. So we are who we are. But yeah, this year I'm really excited. I'm hoping this is going to be our biggest. Last year was. We did really great here last year. And I'm hoping this year we're going to do the same, put us back on the map and really get some really good coverage this year. And I think it's going to be good. I think we've got enough of the key players in place that's going to feed us information. And I'm really excited this year. And it's all about, Tam's done a lot of this for me. She called so many people. I have a bad problem with, I can't put up with stupid people. So when it comes to talking to people, trying to reach people, I have a very low tolerance that if you blow me off once or two times, it's screw you, dude. I ain't got time for you at all. There's actually a vendor out here that couldn't pay me $1 million to cover their venue, their booth. Because when we first started, we walked up to the guy and he's at the Harley dealership. And he said, we went up to him because I bought stuff from the guy. And I said, oh, we got a YouTube channel now. Would you like to do a shout out? What would I do that? Why would I do that? I said, well, it's going to give you, you know, people will come to you. I don't need any more business. That's fine. So then a couple of years ago, if any of you know Cal, has been on our channel off and on. But Cal has been we've known Cal for probably 25 years in the rally business. He's been, you know, all over the United States and stuff. And he used to sell the cup holders, chubby cup holders. He did all that. Now he sells more knives and stun guns and all kinds of stuff like that now. But a couple years ago, he was at this vendor's booth and Cal had his back to me as I walked by with my camera, which I had it down. And this guy was talking to him. Well, I could tell by the way Cal turned around and looked at me. That guy said, who the hell are those people? Well, he turned around and Kyle looked at me and kind of smiled and he turned around and started talking to the guy. Well, I knew that moment he was probably telling him, these are the people you need to get. I was telling the story about Cal but I could just tell that because the Cal, we've given him so much business. It's ridiculous too. And he's a great guy. We've known him forever. He used to buy stuff, but I could just tell that Cal told him, oh yeah, you need to definitely get with those guys. They'll get you so much business. It's ridiculous. That guy could not give me enough money to give him the time of day. I don't even look at him when I walk by. Screw him. I don't need him. You missed out on the gravy train. Well, that's the way life is. I don't like his mounts anyway. They suck. Oops. Screw the guy. They're junk. They don't work right.
We always knew Cal by Chubby Cups. He was the Chubby Cup guy. And when we first started talking to him, I'm like, oh, there goes Chubby. I mean, because it was Chubby Cups.
Now he's the knife slinger. What is it?
Yeah. Knife slinger. Yeah.
No, it's
gunslinger.
Gunslinger.
And he sells those knives.
Yeah, it's like the retractable ones. It's like a switchblade, but it's not. But if it opens up in your pocket, it won't stab you, which is really cool. It's really neat. Now I need to get one of those.
And he's even the official repair guy for him. When I went up to him in Panama City,
he was fixing something.
Yeah, he was fixing one. I think it was Panama.
And he's good like that. We've known him for years. When I changed my bike and I got I changed the cup holder I had on my bike. It's back when they had the metal can ones. And I went up to him and I said, you know, do you have the adapter so I can hook this on my bike? He said, let me go look at it for you. And he hooked it all, got it all on my bike. So what do I owe you? He said, nothing. And he's just a great guy. He's been doing this. He's like 80 years old, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in his 80s. He turned 80.
Now he does a lot of gun shows and all kinds of stuff. He's on the road all the time.
He does like a lot of racing, like I guess NASCAR racing and stuff. He does that, rodeos. He's everywhere. Yeah. But I think now that he does more knives, he used to do the tasers. I think he's got tasers too. But he's got tasers. But I think he kind of
he's designed the plastic bottle holder, cup holder that you get on your bike. It's got the grips on it and it's got the clamp on the back that opens and closes. He designed that. He's got the patent on that. And so everywhere you go and see those, he made them. Yeah, he made this. Well, I don't know if he made it, but he made the design. I don't know if he actually manufactured it,
Okay.
but that's his main thing. If you look on there, it's got his name and everything on, no matter where you go to buy them at. And I looked around and I was like, oh crap, he is right. It's exactly like he said.
Tam, can you pass my number to SNS Contracting? I want to remove number. Okay. You can send it to me in the email, SNS Contracting, and I'll pass it on to Neil if you want to do that. Yeah, because you don't want to post it on so everybody can see it. Billy
Not
Ray.
saying anybody here would do anything
No.
wrong, but if some spammers come on, like I did, I didn't end up doing the video on it. But what I did is I had a really bad flight with Delta, which I still might do the video. I've got the footage with me, but I had a really bad experience with Delta. Well, I went on their Facebook page and I wrote a bunch of complaints in their page. Well, pretty soon I started getting these messenger saying this is Delta head customer service rep, and that's what it said as the title. We need to get your phone number to call you. We want to resolve this issue with you. So I gave my phone number. Well, then they called me up and they said, well, we need your routing number and all that. So they typed a routing number. Well, they already had my name. Well, then the guy starts talking about he said, tell me your story. And I told my whole story and all this. He says, well, we want to give you $500 for compensation. And I'm like, all right. He said, but we need to send the money to you, which is already kind of weird because typically most airlines want to give you a gift certificate.
A voucher.
Yes.
They don't want to give you cash.
So this guy wanted me to go on to this.
First, he was asking his full name, and he asked his address, and he was asking all this stuff.
This was on he didn't ask that. So what he did is he went to like a PayPal, but it was a international one that you could send money internationally. So I started getting in there and I signed up for it.
He kept saying, do you have the app?
And I'm like, what app? I said, yeah, I got the Delta app. He said, no, you need this app. And I forget what it was. I've got it in my phone. And I said,
Shimmy or something like
so
that.
I started,
Shimmy.
I got into it. I started signing up and he says, well, here's your password. Well, then that's when I started thinking, okay, this guy now has my password. He says, well, hit receive money. And so I hit receive money. Well, now it wanted my social security number and some more stuff. And I was like, so I hung up. I hung up on the guy. So I tried to get a hold of Delta to find out what's going on. The guy called me back. I hung up on him again. I hung up about 5 or 6 times. And so if I never could get a hold of anybody on Delta. And I finally said to the guy, I said, dude, I don't know who you are. And he says, well, how do you think I know all your information, your flights and everything? I said, because I gave you my boarding numbers and I gave my reservation number and I gave you my last name. Anybody could look it up. Well, I'm just going to erase everything you've got and you're going to start all over. And I'm like, whatever, dude, see ya. So then I went back on that website and all my information's gone anyway. So, but what they wanted to end up doing was they wanted to link, what you would have done is link it to your checking account. Well, we do have a checking account that only has $25 in it. So if I would have gone that far, that's the worst I would have done is put it in a $25 one, which the most they would have got was 25. Well, they would have had to know there was $25 in it because you couldn't take money out if you didn't know how much is in it. Yeah. You'd say, I want 100, they're not going to give you 25. So, or 500. So I don't know. I think it would have ended up being a scam where they would have put the $500 in and then they would have turned around and pulled the money right back out. Plus whatever left was in there. So we ended that. I was going to do a whole video on it because I was going to tell you my poor service. They offered me $200 compensation right now. I'm not really that pleased with that either for ruining my day. What do you got?
Neil says he didn't post how many commercials he had. I've got it on my phone, so I'm just doing this from like me watching you or watching the video, and I've only gotten one video so far.
Because you're in Alaska, they got to get more money out of you.
You're too far away.
Not getting enough taxes up there.
XM Biker said he enjoyed it. Must have been that video you were talking about. There's a shed full of stuff stopping me. Yeah, and Nicole's on. Nicole, and I'm assuming Andrew's on too. Art says no commercials for me. Clay Hicks said hi, Bob and Tam. Neil, did you get the message? Probably won't answer first time. So yeah, Neil's also on Facebook. You can go into Messenger, and that's usually the quickest way to get him to respond to you.
Yes.
Tam, can you pass my? Okay, so we went through all of that. Look above. Didn't show me. It was hidden. Billy Ray says it's 105 in Lake Havasu today, so he's out by us too. It looks like it's got a picture of Billy Ray on there.
Maybe he does.
Hey, Billy Ray. Are you guys on your way to Sturgis? Yes, we are. We're in Casey, Wyoming right now. We'll be in Sturgis tomorrow. on your page. Okay, so I will do all the email and transfer and phone numbers later. Bob, I've been fighting to get a hold of Delta from Rapid City to Lewiston for a funeral on July 28th, and it's just not going to happen.
Well, the only thing I could figure with Neil, I called you and you never got my number, I guess. We called, I didn't leave a message to Neil.
Oh, yeah.
Last week. What I looked at is the only way you could get a flight would be you'd have to fly out of Rapid City to like Las Vegas. And then Las Vegas, you could get a flight from Las Vegas to the town you want to go to.
I think that's what he was saying. He said he'd have to Las Vegas, Denver, or Salt Lake City.
There was nothing you could not go from, because what I did is look, there's only like 6 states that Rapid City goes to.
Because they have allegiance, don't they?
No, there was Delta, and they got Sun Country. They got a bunch of different ones, but there's only certain states that.
What was weird is the first time we flew down to Cancun, or was it Cabo? We flew Alaskan Airlines. I just thought that was the weirdest thing. It's like, we're not going to Alaska. Well, how are we flying Alaska Airlines going to Cabo San Lucas? Neil says, thank you, Tam. That was too much information. XM Biker said, yeah. Well, when they said it, when they started asking him questions, because he's telling them all this stuff, and I'm like, I thought something was sounding funny because they made him get this app and they made him put it in, and they gave him the password. It was called Complain 2025, and it's like, I didn't sound right to me. So anyway, he finally hung up with them, and then he called Delta, and they said, yeah, that's one of our service numbers. That's one of our agents. Yeah,
so that's it. So the phone number they were using was their number, was Delta's phone number. So they went in. There's a way you can do that. You can go, there's a software that you can go in and get your phone number you have right now, and I can use it. You can just get on the internet now, and anybody can do this now.
You can use your phone, but it'll come up as your phone number.
Yeah. So you've got to watch that. So they verified that it was their airline phone number.
That was the number that they called from.
But they don't do stuff over the phone like that. Well, it's kind of like people that call up and say it's the IRS. The IRS does not call people. They don't send you emails either.
Or text. Your bank will do that too. We've gotten a few close calls on banking. They'll say, there was just $1,000 for, did you just send $1,000 on Amazon?
I got screwed on toll roads.
Oh, yeah.
Up in Maine or whatever. We were on there a couple years ago when we went to Laconia and all that. And they said, you still owed $4. And I'm like, I thought you paid all that. She was like, I don't know. I don't know where that stuff's at. So I said, well, it's $4. I'll just send them $4. So I paid it on the credit card and they never sent me a receipt. Well, I hurried up and called the credit card company and stopped the payment on it and turned the card off. I don't know if it would have ended up. And then right after that, they sent me a thing in the mail saying, or an email saying that, watch out, they might be doing scams on toll roads.
And my daughter said she's had a couple, but if it's in states that she hasn't even been to. So this one it happened
New Hampshire or something. I think it was.
So it was a state we'd been to, but it has been a couple of years because I think she got one in Florida is what she got one for.
And so, yeah, there's a lot of scams. I get one all the time saying my Netflix account has gone bad. It's in her name.
Or I get one all the time. It says your Paramount payment didn't go through this month. And it's like, I don't have Paramount. So it's like they're just grabbing at straws thinking that you'll click on it thinking, oh, no, I can't have that. So, and we get Netflix for free anyway because we get it through T-Mobile.
Yeah.
So it's got ads now, but it doesn't matter. It's still free.
Yep.
Something to watch.
You ain't got no TV here. Let's watch our phone. Got no TV. Last night I had 95 channels in Provo.
Yeah. I thought maybe we'd pick up Buffalo. I don't think we're too awful far from Buffalo.
Yeah, but Buffalo, maybe no TV stations.
I keep thinking like Buffalo, New York.
I got absolutely nothing here. Well, they act like this was such a big town. And I think you go across this bridge, I think there's a bar.
A tavern and a gas station.
It's Last Chance or you drop in or something.
I don't know.
It was that one you've seen a while ago. You've seen.
No, I don't know.
When we came through,
I know, but I don't remember the name of it.
It's one of those Last
How
Chance
far
bars
is
or something.
Buffalo, Wyoming?
29 miles.
39.
Well, close.
Straight up the road. It's right when you hit the 90.
Don't you?
But I mean, I would think that was it. Does it say the population?
Yes, what the population is. That'd be
What
another
is the
commercial.
population? Oh, there you go.
Commercial.
Population of
Buffalo.
What is the population of Buffalo, Wyoming?
10.
5,000, 4,000.
They probably got a TV channel, huh?
No.
Lucky if they.
But I was thinking
Buffalo, New York.
yes.
Gillette's not even that big of a town.
No, it's not. Yeah, Gillette doesn't have
We're
nothing.
in Wyoming. It's like going to Sturgis. Sioux Falls is about the biggest. The whole state of
Wyoming.
whole state of South Dakota doesn't even have 1 million people in it.
Wyoming probably doesn't either.
They probably don't. So, a lot of farmland. We've seen a bunch of antelope today.
What is the population of the state of Wyoming?
How many little critters do you think we've seen today running around?
All right.
What's the phone number?
No, it's not.
Oh,
It's under 60,000. 600,000.
geez, that's pretty sad. That's
North Dakota's got almost 800,000. Montana's got 1 million.
damn. Everybody's going to Montana.
What's the population of South Dakota?
Oh, so they're almost at 1 million.
Almost at 1 million.
924,000.
There you go.
Almost 1 million.
Not quite.
A lot of people moving out there,
There they are.
changing the politics.
Trying to, just
Trying.
like everywhere else. That's what they said. So many people from blue states are moving to red states that within the next like 5 or 10 years or the next 2 or 3 elections, you're not going to have red and blue states anymore. It's all going to be a mismatch.
Mixed match.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
It is. Jesus will be back by then. So don't forget, you got to be right with Jesus.
That's right.
Damn, check Alaska, 750,000. Cheyenne, Shain. It might be Cheyenne. I don't know. Roads. Don't tell people about us. We really don't need any more here.
Tell them the state's closed. We do that in Arizona when we.
Yep.
It's a one-way door. Can't come in. You can only go
Arizona's
out.
probably he's got a couple big ones. What's the population of Arizona?
Well, it's got over 1 million.
7.5
There
million.
you go.
But
Only
it's got,
California people came over there.
yep.
That's what's funny about some of the states that people don't like. You know, like if you lived in a big city, let's say you lived in LA and you don't like what's going on over there right now. And you're like, I'm going to get out of LA. Then you move over to like
Phoenix.
You move to Phoenix and go, well, I'm going to protest that ICE is there. Wasn't that why you just left? Because you didn't like what was going on over there? I don't ever really understand why people don't like the politics in the state they're in, but then they go to another state and they want the politics to be the same as the state they came from. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Diane says, don't California my Wyoming.
There you go.
I agree.
And yeah,
That's
it's.
why I live here. Less people.
I'm
Devin
hoping.
says.
My goal is I'm
Yeah.
hoping that the bad news is if one of those ICE people gets shot or get killed.
Not going to be good for whoever does
Yes,
it.
Hey,
Joe Casey.
I really think they're going to call the National Guard in. And there's already over 120 people got arrested last night, and then there's supposed to be more tonight. Raids going on, and it's like, you know, if which my buddy Art, I don't know if he was on the night or not.
I didn't see him. Other Art was on, but
his mom came from Mexico. And she became a citizen in America. She went through, she took the test, she did all the stuff she was supposed to do. And he knows how hard it was. He was born in America. He knows how hard it was for his mom to become a citizen because his dad took off right after he had the kids. They disappeared when he was a kid.
8 kids.
And left his mom by herself. And so with all the boys. And I guess he got a sister too, don't he? 2 sisters and the rest are boys. And but
he's got
the point is Art hates illegals. And he's as Mexican as you can get. And it's just funny how, because he knows, because we lived in California for 17 years and I dealt with a lot of Latino people. And most people that were legal in the United States did not like illegals, which is really makes sense to where when you talk to people like that, and that's what I keep saying is if you're an illegal, but like we've done, we know people by living in California that have been here for 40 years and have never became a legal citizen. They still only can speak Spanish. They can't speak a word of English.
Patients like that.
And it's like, okay, you wanted to come here to America. You're here. Why would you not do whatever it takes to become a citizen? If I was going to go to Canada or if I was going to go to Germany and live, I would become a citizen. I would find out what I need to be. And we have some friends that we know that are dual citizens. They're Canadian and they're American. They became both. So, you know, if that's what I was going to do, that's what I would do. I would become a citizen for that, but I'd want to abide by the rules and the laws and all that kind of stuff. But to see people here that that just don't want to, they want an amnesty. And it's like, I'm not for amnesty. I think people that come here need to follow the rules, because if you go to Canada, there's some Canadians here. You probably all know that if you want to go to Canada, because if I want to go to Canada right now, I have to prove that I can afford to live there, and the government isn't going to give me.
We're going to go up there and move.
Yeah, I would have to show that we have enough money to buy a house, that we could sustain our living there without the government funding me. And if I can't do that, I can't become a citizen of Canada. And a lot of countries are like that. You just can't show up and say, here I am. I want to be a citizen. I want amnesty.
No, I want all my free stuff. I want a free phone, a place to live, and blah, blah, blah.
And so we'll stop on that.
Anyway, so Joe Casey wants to know if you enjoyed the Myrtle Beach rally.
Myrtle Beach.
No, because I wasn't there.
This year I spent a lot more time, since she wasn't there as much. I spent a lot more time in Myrtle's Inlet. I spent a lot of time at the Beaver Bar. I spent more time at the Beaver Bar. I even worked at the Beaver Bar. I was the money guy.
You took the money in
for about 2 hours. She goes, I hope you did everything going on. Because she goes, just stay here a minute. I got to go get the phone. And I'm like, all right. So I'm standing there doing the money. And she comes back a couple times, stands there, and she sits down. I get up. And she runs and goes, I'll be right back again. And then finally she came back and goes, you didn't have anything you needed to do today, did you? I said, no, I was just going to kind of hang out here in the morning for breakfast, because I said that was going to be our meet and greet. It's where I'd be. And she goes, okay, thank you. I appreciate it. But Leslie's a great person, and we've known her. She's always just been great as hell. They call her Mama Beaver. Yep. And that's her last name is Beaver.
I didn't know that. Yep.
That's how she uses the name, the Beaver.
The Beaver Bar. That's right. That's how they got it.
Yep. She has her own picture of a beaver, but it's not Bucky Beaver.
No, it's upside down. Yeah, poor Bucky. What do you guys think about Bucky's? Billy Ray says you learn the language and you assimilate. That's right. And somebody had told me that a lot of the patients like I treated that didn't know any English, see, they could understand me, but they wouldn't speak back. So I had no idea what they were saying. But they said that they're ashamed that they don't know it well enough. They speak broken English. But I said, broken English is better than no English. So they said a lot of them, they're just too uncomfortable speaking it because they don't.
But there's times when I used to work for the utility company. So I was a guy that came in the house. I was first responder. So if you smell gas or anything like that, I came to the house. And so I'd come in. There's times I had to talk to 5 or 6 year old grandson to tell grandma or grandpa what I was saying. And so I'd have to say, well, here's what I'm doing here. And the kid would talk to him. And then sometimes the kid would go, I don't have a word for that. Oh, I don't know. What word do you not have a word for? I don't know. I know, no comprende, no comprende.
Me fix, you pay.
Gas man. Wrench, turn your gas off. Turny.
Offie.
Yeah.
There you go. 157.
So we had that with all different nationalities. And
because California is definitely a melting pot.
And it's just not, there's more Mexican descent in California than anything else. The smallest minority is actually white and black people. That's the smallest minority groups of those two. There's a lot of Asians from all over. That's why I said we met more people, Hawaiian. I met more people in my lifetime of nationalities by living in that
German, Russian, Cuban, Iran, Pakistan, all over. Yeah. Yes.
And I learned a lot of stuff.
Weird stuff.
And I learned a lot of stuff. And I learned, which is what most of them always tell me, especially if you meet anybody from Cuba or from Russia. And with all the stuff that's going on now, which I haven't talked to them, I haven't worked there for over 10 years now. But I would talk to some of those Russians and Cubans, and they would say, you need to take these young kids with no money and a one-way ticket to Russia and drop them off and see how long they can live there for 30 days without, and give them a round trip ticket for 30 days. They can come back. And he said, they will come back here acting totally different because you don't get nothing in those countries. There's a lot of countries you go over there and you ain't got nothing. You ain't going to get nothing. You ain't going to get no free medical. You're not going to get no free food. You ain't going to get crap. You're going to get kicked in the ass. You might end up in jail and never be seen again. Go down to Mexico. You do something stupid in Mexico, they'll put you in a prison and they'll never find you again.
Wave an American flag down in Mexico. Yeah. See what that gets you.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's we've seen a lot of things and met a lot of great people from all over the world. And there's great people and there's crappy people in all nationalities too. And it's like we used to always say,
It's not a color of
yes.
skin, or it's not a nationality.
it's an
It's
attitude.
yeah, it's your attitude, yes, in the way you were raised, or just don't care. That's
Yeah.
that's the problem. People just don't care.
Yeah.
So anyway, where do you comment saying at Sturgis with a small motorcycle? Where did you recommend staying at Sturgis with a small motorcycle?
Well, it depends if you want to stay, if you want looking for a motel, you're looking for a campground, you're looking for a tent camping. Got to give us more information because everybody comes different. If you were just coming with a small motorcycle and you were going to bring a tent, you know, I would stay a couple different places. You could stay at One Sexy Biker Chick right across the street from
The Iron Horse or Broken Spoke right there.
she's got a setup there where she gives free breakfast.
She's got a shower house and restrooms right there that you can use. Free breakfast every morning.
And you can sit right on. She has a bench out there. You can sit and watch across and hear all the music from the Broken Spoke. You don't have to go over there and fight the crowd.
And you can watch motorcycles drive up and down LaSalle there.
Yep. That's a cool place. Another campground that's really cool that I like is the Sturgis RV Park, which is just down the street from the Iron Horse. They got a little grassy
They're
area
right
there.
underneath the where you see Sturgis written up on the hillside.
They got tent camping there. There's a whole bunch of there's showers and stuff there. I look for places where if I'm going to stay in a tent, I want to have some kind of conveniences. I want a toilet. I want a shower. I don't want to have to go downtown. You know, I don't want to crap in a bucket or whatever you're going to do. I want some kind of conveniences. So that's where I'm looking for something. Now there's a bunch of people that have got yard camping, 10, 15, 20 bucks.
And there's a few that says you can use their swimming pool and they'll have showers you can use. I think they have some showers.
You don't need reservations. Now, if you wanted to stay at One Sexy Biker Chick's house, you got to call and get a reservation to get in there with your tent because she only allows 40 tents.
Yeah, I was going to say she only allows a certain number.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And
so I don't know if she's full or not yet. I think she said she still had some tent camping there. Over there at underneath the Sturgis RV sign.
Motorhome.
Oh, it's a motorhome. If you want full hookup, you're running out of time.
A small motorhome, not motorcycle.
You're going to have a hard.
Can you dry camp? Because if you can dry camp,
you got a generator.
Yeah, you can stay at Susie's. You can stay at Kathmandu. Most of the campgrounds will have an area for dry camping.
So what you want to stay away from is the ones that are going to charge you for a wristband, unless you want to go concerts like the Buffalo Chip, Pappy Hoyle, Glencoe, all of those. Shade Valley, kickstands. They all charge you a camping pass. So some of them now are up to $400 just for that, plus camping.
Yes, you have to pay for camping. Then you got to pay for the wristband.
Yeah.
So you want to if you don't want to spend a lot of money, you want to stay away from those places.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go to all the concerts.
Yes.
Then go stay at Pappy Hoyle or Buffalo Chip.
Yeah.
Depending on which concert you want to see. If you want to see them both, you're screwed.
Yeah. Costs you a lot of money.
Wyatt has an RV spot, just no septic. There you go.
There you go.
You can stay out there with Devin and Wyatt.
Yep.
And I always even forget their mom's name. I don't know why I can't remember her name.
That's your job.
I know.
I just know Devin.
I know her face. I can see her. I can picture her, but I just can't remember her name.
Devin's some of our administrators and monitors on the channel, so that's why I see them on there too. So I kind of keep track.
If those are full kickstands, or try Bear Butte. Mary had some openings just on her page. It's just past the Buffalo Chip on 34.
Oh yeah, it's on the left-hand side.
It's called Bear Butte.
Yep.
And they've got some shady spots.
Yes.
That's a nice place. It's kind of back. You kind of have
It's kind of off the beaten track.
Yeah.
And you got to go over this hill. You don't even see it. There's a sign there. You go over this sign, over the hill. It is a little bit of a rock road. If you don't like to ride a motorcycle on a rock road, you got a little bit of that. You have to ride on probably a quarter of a mile out and in. Might be a half a mile.
In and out. You said it backwards.
So there you go. We're losing our sun. We're losing our spotlight.
Yes, and it's getting cold.
Can you see all that stuff blowing around?
Say good night.
Good night, Apple.
Good night, John Boy.
Mary Ellen.
All right, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry, it was kind of last minute and we didn't have a whole lot to say, but
I had a lot of people on. Thank you.
Yep, we appreciate all you guys. We love all you guys. Can't wait to see all you guys. I know a lot of you are coming out, and like I said, email us. If we don't have your phone number, always text us and we'll try our best to meet up with you. And don't hesitate to text us because I'll forget who's coming and
So we'll
when.
have
and
several
I'll miss
meet and
you.
greets. We'll definitely do one, probably a Kathmandu too, and everybody's invited to Kathmandu. You can come into
You don't
that.
have to have a bracelet or nothing.
And so you'd be able to come in for that. You can go to their bar, their music and all that. We'll give you a preview of that real soon and tell you what they got
Okay.
going on. And that's kind of a cool place. You want someplace a little more quieter, a little bit not so crazy. Kathmandu's kind of a cool place. They've still got room for tent camping and dry camping. Boondocking, we call it. They got a lot of that you can do. It's very reasonable, and they got clean bathrooms and got a little store and a bar, and they'll have some bands and stuff playing. They got a food truck on the lot. We love it there. We've stayed there more than we've stayed anywhere else in Sturgis.
That's right. So don't forget to support our sponsors. Don't forget about that helmet. $25. Go to Bike Builds for Vets. It's at the top of the page.
I don't know. Let me look and see.
Anyway, and then $25 you can win that cool helmet that's got all kinds of stuff. So go there and
it shows you all the stuff there.
And tell all your friends and family we want to sell 200 tickets and give away that helmet to somebody. It's really cool. Support our sponsors, and because they're the ones that get us to all these rallies to give you the great information. Tell them Bob and Tam sent you if you visit any of them. Even if you just go by and say hi, say I came by and said hi because Bob and Tam sent me. And subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share with your family and friends. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications. And we'll see you on the next video. Little doggy legs, dinosaur doggy legs. Bye. Say good night.
Good night.
Say pating.
Pating to the nation.
There you go.